It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, go to Rizzo.
It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Finky Friday. It's the weekend, baby! And I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and I'm fired up. Guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not subscribed, not liking us on Facebook, what are you doing? All right, go to Facebook. Type in SportsZone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following SportsZone Chicago. And you know what? While you're on Facebook, you might as well go to Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. Go to our Facebook page, the show's Facebook page. Okay, like that. Forget the thumbs up button. All right. Now you're following the show as well, Shawn and Maya in the morning. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, what are you doing? All right, listen, peep this. Go to YouTube. Type in SportsZone Chicago, click the subscribe button, all right? Click the subscribe button, and now you're following SportsZone Chicago. So not only will you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, you're going to get our other 5 live shows, and they're all archived there. You can go back and check them out at your leisure. And if you're watching us on the app, that is even more excellenter. It's an old phrase I just made up. And if you haven't subscribed, downloaded the app, what? Come on, man. Come on, man. What are you doing? All right, here's what you do. You go to wherever you get your apps from, right? iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, Zemsky, Zare, Marshall Fields, Macy's, wherever you get your apps from. All right, you type in SportsZone Chicago, you download it, you take it with you on the go. So not only will you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only will you get our other 5 live shows throughout the week, not only are they all archived there, okay, but we have a slew, and I mean a slew of articles thanks to our guy, Clarence Council III. Big shout out to Clarence Council III. Look at he's checking in already, Papa. He's checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Good to have you join us this morning. You can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SportsZone Shy. That's CHI at SportsZone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. Do you want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, then just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. I would be remiss if I didn't bring him out. He's a man that makes everything run smoothly here at SportsZone Chicago. He's a man behind the curtain, the Wiz, some people call him, but I like to call him a Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, and he's affectionately known in some, not a lot, some circles, as PR Swiss. My man, Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Chilling, Shawn. Chilling. Wish there was some baseball talk, but there will be today on this show, so I'm excited about that. And also, football talk. The combine got underway. I was pumped for that. I'm actually rewatching it now, which is there's a lot. I'm rewatching it now. I'm probably gonna watch it again and then watch tonight's set of athletes go at it. It's gonna be fun. I feel there's a lot of guys out there that are like, man, just kind of solidified who they were. But there's one guy in particular, and I'll talk about it later. I'll mention it to you later. I'll put it in the chat later. Keep it on the download.
Okay.
That I think is somebody that a multiple position type of player on offense, and I think could fill a major need for the Chicago Bears. Well, maybe not a major need, but he could definitely let's say jack of all trades, and he's really good at all of them.
Is he kind of a Tariq Cohen type of player?
No.
Okay. More of a
I'm not giving it away.
no. Who's that dude we just had? It's on Cordell Patterson type of player.
Okay. I'll say somewhere along those lines. Yes.
Or somewhere in between Tariq Cohen and Cordell Patterson, somewhere in there.
I don't know if he'd be in between. I don't know if he'd be the one in between. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I'll tell you.
I'm looking forward to it.
A lot of good stuff. Good to see you this morning. Good to see everybody in the chat this morning. It should be fun. Caesar, what's up, man? Yeah, it should be fun. So I'll mention it once we get into Bears talk later.
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, hold on, player. Isn't today? Oh, I left my newspaper over there. Isn't today happy birthday for the city of Chicago?
Oh, that's right. Oh.
That's right. That's what Caesar's telling us. Felicidades, Cesar Flores Lopez. ¿Cómo estás? He's all the way from Mexico. I know he does a show, Los Osos, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. It is the city's birthday today. It was 185 years. That's nuts, dude. The great city of Chicago. Armando Lara Jr. is in the house. Look at that. That's awesome. And I'm telling you, we're gonna have a great show. I'm fired up. If you saw my Facebook Live this morning after my workout, whoa, man. Let me tell you. I'm telling you, whoever created the burpee, your mama's a hoe. I just hate. Man, that workout today was a son of a gun. If I was only able to do burpees better, dude, it's tiring, bro. Dude, I would have killed this workout today. I did okay. I did pretty good, but burpees killed me. Destroyed it me today. Man, burpees. I freaking hate them. Well, listen, we have a phenomenal show, but we need you to get interactive with us today. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be YouTube, whether it be our app, whatever platform you're watching us on, leave a question or comment right there on that platform. You see, we have a ton of people joining in, chiming in already. Cornelia Squalls, good morning, baby. It is Mickey Ficky Friday, baby. Hassam, good morning. Mashawn Walls in the house. Clarence Council III. All right, Cesar Flores Lopez, all the way from Mexico. Thank you very much. We appreciate it tuning in. And Armando Lara Jr. tuning in from the north side, Harlem and Higgins area, somewhere around there. Oh, Bullets is in the house too, baby. Oh, you hate burpees too? Man, let me just tell you. I'm telling you, one part of the workout, it was deadlifts and burpees. That's it. It was the 10-minute workout. Man, you would have thought a sniper was in that freaking in the box today, dude. At CrossFit Warehouse. You'd have thought a sniper was going around that mother Hubbard. Man, after that 10 minutes, because for men, we had to do 225 for deadlifts. Women, I think it was 155. So 225 for me and deadlifts is nothing, really. Okay, it's not. So I was able to. So it was ascending. It was one deadlift, one bar facing burpee, two deadlifts, two bar facing burpees, three deadlifts, three bar facing burpees. We went all the way up to 10, and then back down at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We ascended and then descended. Man, at like the 5 mark, because I hate burpees, and then you come back with the deadlifts. It started to get to me, and I only got through 10. I got the 1 through 10, and I was unable to start coming back down in that 9 minutes. Man, I'm exhausted. And this was after swimming yesterday. Aquaman is back in the house. Woo, Charlie, I'm exhausted, but I feel good, baby. I feel good, and I can't wait to talk a lot of sports today with you guys. And thanks for tuning in, because this is going to be one hell of a show. 10:30 we have. Well, 10 o'clock, you know what time it is. Our guy, Kenneth Davis, is back in the house. All right, and Joseph Phillips should be joining us at 9 o'clock. We're not sure because, Joseph is, he's on his own thing. He's a little crazy over there. He might have a kid in the headlock, Indiana kid in the headlock. Who knows? But Joseph Phillips from 9 to 10. Ken Davis, our guy, is going to be with us from 10 to 11. At 10:30, we're going to welcome our first guest. All right, Tab Bamford. He was a La Vida Baseball founder. We're going to talk a little baseball lockout. I'm fiending. If you follow me on Facebook, which you should, okay. You saw yesterday I posted a clip or a montage, a highlight reel of Tim Anderson's, just of Tim Anderson. And man, that hurt my soul. That just hurt my soul. You know, we're missing baseball. You know, I wanted to go to Arizona this year for spring training. Can't do that. Man, I don't know. So we're going to talk to Tab Bamford today at 10:30 about a little lockout. What's up, boss?
I was going to say, you got that text from me, right? Because they name names. They name names. They name the owners. I'll let you get into it later if you want, but they have named some names of the owners that rejected the offer.
Yeah.
The 1 year, one year.
No. It's not even that. It's not even that. We just got a last minute. Our guy was supposed to come on today at 11. Had a work commitment. They just lassoed him into, so he won't be able to come on today at 11. Our guy Phil Atosha won't be able to come on today. I was looking forward to talking draft with him, but you know what? We're going to talk drafts with him, with me, Ivan, and then Jason Palmer should be joining us in that hour as well. I'm not sure about Jason because Jason's been, ever since the invasion's kicked off, Jason's been busy, man. He's got people over there in Ukraine. You know, he's trying to get information from them. He's trying to check, make sure they're safe and all that other stuff. So he's been a little busy. So it's going to be, regardless, it's going to be a great show, and I'm fired the freak up about it. You know, it's Friday, baby. It's Friday. It's March. We're in the third month of the year. Could you believe it, dude? That happened so quick, fast, in a hurry. Don't worry, Flavor Vision ain't blurry. That happened fast. Okay. Listen, real quick. I talked to you about it on my Facebook Lives. All right. If you're on a journey, okay, and it could be a fitness journey, it could be a personal journey, it could be a financial journey, whatever it is, you know, get started if you haven't decided already. We're already in March 1st or March 4th. All right. Happy birthday to the greatest city in the whole freaking world, Chicago. And we're already here in month number 3. That was fast. So make the decision, go with it, stick with it, whatever it is, a fitness journey, a financial journey, a personal journey, stick with it, because in 6 months, 4.5 months, you're going to be thankful. All right. Summertime's coming. You know, the festivals are back in full effect because, you know, COVID just vanished like that. It's gone. So the summer festivals are back. The rooftops are going to be open. The drinks are going to be flowing. It's going to be a great time this summer. It's going to be a phenomenal time this summer. And once baseball and the union get their act together, there are going to be baseball games on the north and south sides of town. It's going to be one hell of a fun summer. So if there's something you want to get, you want to go be able to party, you want to look good, hey, let's get it started, baby. Let's get it started. You can start today. It doesn't matter. You can start today. You can start Monday. I would say start today if you haven't made a decision already, because listen, it's going to be fun, and you're not going to want to just think it's going to be the first summer like after COVID where everybody's out. Everybody and their mama's out. Okay, you're going to want to be jumping. You're going to be running the streets of Chicago. Summertime shop is going to be lit. Okay, and don't forget, plus a couple trips to Milwaukee. You got Summerfest back in full effect. That's what I'm talking about. If you've never been to Summerfest in Milwaukee, oh my God, Becky. Whew. Let me just tell you this. They have phenomenal music, phenomenal food, and it's nowhere near as packed as the Taste of Chicago. Nowhere near. That's why I go up there. And the people are so nice. They're so nice up in Milwaukee. So I'm going to go up there, get an Airbnb up there this year for Summerfest.
No OD hotel?
No heroin high. No heroin Hiltons. No more. No heroin Hiltons.
the heroin heights at the Hilton?
Yeah, no more of those. No. We're done with that. We're done with dead bodies being wheeled out in front of us and shit. We're done with that. If you haven't heard that story, hit me up. I will definitely I'll tell you that story because that's crazy. That is a crazy story. So hey, listen, guys, you know how we do. Oh, Stu, Luis Mejia in the house. What's up, Papa? Good morning. Good morning. Well, guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
Just when you want it. Top of the
And our first top of the morning topics, the Blackhawks. We're going to start off with them because, let's get them out of the way. The Blackhawks with a big win yesterday over the Edmonton Oilers.
Literally what I said back here. Just get them out of the way.
They beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-3 in overtime yesterday. It was a return. It was a return of Duncan Keith. And if you haven't seen the video, you got to check it out. When Duncan Keith, when they arrived the other day, because they got in a day early, when they arrived a day early for their team skate, his teammates on the Oilers, I mind you, Duncan Keith played, 15, 16 seasons here for us, for the Blackhawks. And he's always been in the home locker room. So what I thought was really cool for his teammates, just out of respect, they had a ceremony. So they're standing in the hallway with their hockey sticks, arching over one guy on each side. He walked underneath there. They had a red carpet inside the locker room, showing him into the visitors' locker room for the first time in his career, because obviously he played his whole career at the United Center. I thought that was freaking hilarious. But the Blackhawks came out with the win yesterday. Patrick Kane had a goal and assist. Kubalik had a goal, and Alex DeBrincat with the game-winning goal in overtime. Patrick Kane made some comments about it. He said, he would love to stay a Blackhawk. He understands it's a business, though. But it seems like, regardless, and this is I think it's fair to say, no matter what happens with Patrick Kane, he'll retire a Blackhawk. Okay? No matter what happens, he might be traded. He understands, and that's the cool thing. He understands it's a business. And if they can get some guys back in return for him and trade him to a winner, cool. But when his career is about over, he may end up finishing playing with another team, but then come back and sign with the Blackhawks for a one-day contract and retire a Chicago Blackhawk. I mean, 'cause that's really all we want. Okay, Patrick Kane, whatever uniform he goes to is going to look weird. Just like Duncan Keith yesterday looked weird in an Edmonton Oilers jersey. I've seen him play a couple times, and every time I saw him, like, damn, that's weird. All right, it's like Mike. When Mike was in a Washington Bullets jersey, what the hell? Was it Wizards back then still? I think it might have been changed to Wizards. All right, Joe Montana in a Kansas City Chiefs jersey. That was weird. All right, just weird. But I think when it's all said and done, Patrick Kane will retire a Blackhawk. He'll sign a one-day contract, retire a Blackhawk, and I think that's really all we want. He's given him and the captain, my captain, have given this city so many phenomenal memories. Think of all the people you met in that those championship runs from 9 and 10, because 10's when they won their first one, all the way to 15, 16. All right. 15 is when they won their last one. Think of all the people you met. Some people met their spouse there. Some people met their baby daddy or the baby mamas there. Okay. During that time, you get a little crazy. It's funny. You never know. And you've been out at bars. Don't act like this ain't something that I'm speaking something foreign to. You've been out at places. And if you're rooting a team and they're winning, the drinks are flowing, who knows what happens? All right. And the Blackhawks, who knows how much of the population to the city of Chicago or the Chicagoland area that the Blackhawks are responsible for. Okay. Who knows in that time? Who knows? So, Kaner, I'd love for you to stay here, but I also would love to see you go get a shot at another contender. All right. You've done everything for this city, more than any athlete anyone could ask of an athlete. You and the captain, my captain. So, if they keep you, great, and you want to be part of it, which you said you did, cool. But if you do want to go somewhere else and they can get something for you, and you're traded to a contender, I would love to see you hoist the Stanley Cup again. You or the captain, my captain. So, well, the next top of the morning topic. Oh, my man. You know what? Just checking in. We're going to get his take on it. Oh, man, he is the man that you can find on Twitter at ACA Joe. Let's bring him in. Joseph Phillips. Joseph, what's up, Papa?
What's up, Papa? God bless. How y'all doing?
Good. You in the basement or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see the recessed lights. I'm like, that ain't no school where you at.
That's a nice sweater, Jason.
Oh,
Jason always stays with some fly stuff. But that's a nice.
Yeah,
that's a nice looking
your
sweater.
sweater game's pretty tight, bro. Your sweater game's pretty tight.
Thanks for calling me Jason, but it's all good.
I'm sorry, Joe. I'm my bad, Joe. You know. Jason, Joseph, both y'all. My bad, Joe.
Yeah,
you all look alike, bro.
Jason referees. Jason referees and he's bald head. Difference.
You know what they say. We all look alike, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, all black people look alike.
Yeah,
You have a beard, great.
Even if you have a beard, if you don't have a beard, you still look alike.
But that's your brother. That's profiling. That's racial profiling.
Hey, listen, we just got done talking about the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks with a big 4-3 win yesterday at the United Center as they welcome back a hero, a Blackhawks legend in Duncan Keith yesterday as he played for the Edmonton Oilers. And if you didn't see, there's when he got back, when they went to skate the day before, his teammates had like a, how the in England where they hold their swords over, and he walked underneath the swords, and because he's going to the visitors' locker room for the first time in his career. He's always been in the home locker room, and then they had a red carpet inside the locker room leading up to his locker. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the Blackhawks all-time greats. He's contributed to 3 Stanley Cups, and he can't never be accused of not playing 100% hard, or he's never actually. When he actually used to play, he was injured most of the time, but he was able to play through his injuries. So that's just the character to his toughness, and he'll always be missed in Blackhawks lore.
Yeah, remember when he missed, like, was it 5 minutes of ice time when he busted his teeth? He got hit in the face with a puck.
Yeah.
He missed 5 minutes of ice time. He went back. They numbed him up. They stitched him up because it was bleeding, and obviously just put his mouthpiece back in. And that's
how the game's supposed to be played. Like I tell them in all sports, if you're not putting your body on the line, then you're not giving it your all. And we're living in a time, unfortunately, where this generation don't get a chance to really experience that. They don't get to see, the guts, the glory, laying. And I know they'd be like, well, we're more intelligent than the athlete of the past. Yeah, you are, but you're an athlete. Okay, so let's just keep it real. Okay, at the end of the day, you have to put your body on the line, whether you're intelligent or not. Now, when you survive it, that's up to you. How long you want to play this game. So, shout out to Duncan Keith.
It's amazing. The body is the most resilient machine ever created, and you got to push yourself. We are surprised, especially if you're an athlete, you're surprised at the limits that you can go. When pushed, because sometimes we reach a point like, I can't go anymore. Right. But then you have teammates, you have adrenaline, you have coaches, you have fans, and that push you to be even better, and you reach levels that you never thought you could reach. Right. And Duncan Keith was one of those guys. He was one of the most well-conditioned athletes in the history of the city, of this town. All right. And this dude would honestly play 30 or 40 minutes a night, dude. 30 or 40 minutes a night on a defensive end. He was amazing. I mean, shift after shift, this guy very rarely got tired. And, it's just a tribute, a testament to his conditioning. It's a testament to his craft, his love of his craft. And that's what you do. You make sure that you're in the best shape possible. And, there are just times he was Iron Man, dude. He was Iron Man. And I love Duncan Keith. And it was good seeing him back, especially good beating the Oilers, but it was good seeing him back. So, it's going to be, and I was saying, it's going to be really weird if they do trade Patrick Kane or Jonathan Toews, and they come back either this year or next season, see them in a different uniform. That will be really, really, really awkward.
And he's definitely a throwback. Just wanted to add that to you. Shawn, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
You ever watched this YouTube series called Throwback?
No, I haven't.
Chance, check it out. So what it does, it just shows you like 12 minutes of like greatest moments, like NBA greatest moments. So just a testament to Duncan Keith. I was watching that last night, and I was just like, man, these guys put it on the line every night. I was like, what's the difference between yesterday's game and today's game? These guys are willing to put it on the line every night. They did not take plays off, not once. And I love that about that game. And so hopefully, this generation can learn from that.
Yeah, I think that, especially with the advancements in training technology, the technology that they have for training is at an all-time high.
Right.
And so it's amazing that you see. Think about all the guys and I hate this is load management, that term.
Right.
I think it's bullshit. Right? You literally play 82 times a year, and you travel first class. Okay, you're in your own private jet, or private plane, because it's not a jet, it's a private plane, right? And you stay in 4 and 5-star hotels, right? You have the best treatment. You talk about ice baths, cold baths, barometric chambers, all these things,
right?
And you need a night off,
right? And also, son, can I add this?
Yeah.
You get the night off, and you get to leave the game early when your team is down by 20 points.
Stop it! Don't start. Don't start. Don't start. Don't start. But the advancements are great. So yeah, load management, and it's not just the guy I know you and Diana mentioned, but it's a lot of people in the NBA and in hockey, and it's unfortunate, but it's
AAU, baby. AAU.
Yeah. Well, listen. We got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we have more top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. It's unknown when baseball and the Players Union will meet again to try and hammer out a deal to get the season started. Deputy Commissioner Dan Hallam and Chief Union Negotiator Bruce Meyer met for an hour and a half Thursday discussing the major issues in the stalled talks to reach a deal. Union General Counsel Ian Penny and Major League Baseball Executive Vice President Morgan Sword also participated in the session. The sides had made progress earlier this week, but were still far apart on areas that include the key economic components of the luxury tax, pre-arbitration bonus pool, and minimum salaries. The NFL suspended all aspects of its COVID-19 protocol, citing recent trends showing the spread of the coronavirus is declining. The league is still encouraging everyone to continue monitoring for symptoms of COVID-19 on a daily basis before entering the team facility. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. I'm sitting here with our guy Joseph Phillips, talking. Well, we're talking some hockey, but our next top of the morning topic: the Bullies. Ugh. The Bulls fall to the Atlanta Hawks yesterday, 130-124. DeMar DeRozan, he dropped 22, 7 boards, 8 assists. Zach LaVine also dropped 22 with 7 dimes. Ayo DeSumo and Kobe White each contributed 15 points in the loss. This is a stretch. And here's the thing: is we had beaten Atlanta with the first 3 times we played them this season, and it was their first. It's tough, man. It's really difficult to beat the same team 4 times, especially after you handled them the night before or the week before. Trae Young came out on a mission. He had 39 points and 13 assists after he was literally arrested and handcuffed last week by Ayo DeSumo. This is the NBA. You know, you're good. You beat a team one week, and next week they come back and they get you. It is difficult. I hope Ayo isn't feeling too down with a couple of rough performances defensively the last couple games. You just got to stay strong. And it was a tough one yesterday. And there's no rest for the weary, Joseph, because the Milwaukee Bucks and that piece of garbage, Grayson Allen, they're coming to town tonight.
Yeah, it's unfortunate what's going on with the Bulls right now, but we pretty much predicted this. I know the last time we played the Bucks, it was a close game, but that's because we had, a guy that can guard the ball, but it's going to be a little bit rough for us probably tonight because this team can't play defense. It's just real simple. It's no secret. They don't want to play defense and they can't play defense. And they believe that when these guys return, like Alonzo Ball and the rest of these guys, they're supposed to pick up the slack. But I'm just seeing flat out laziness, okay, from the Bulls on the defensive end, with the exception of Ayo DeSumo, who's probably a little burnt out now because he has to chase some of the top point guards in the league on a nightly basis. But even with that, there's still no excuse. Bottom line is, it goes down to coaching. If your team cannot play man-to-man defense, what is your next step? You have to play the zone. Okay? I don't care who pride it hurts. I don't want to hear about ego. I want Billy Donovan to go to the zone. That's it. That's all. It's nothing else to talk about. Golden State does it. All the top teams do. They do it against us.
Yeah, and it gives us problems.
And it gives us problems. So why aren't you doing it? What is going on? This is not college basketball. You cannot continue. And even in college basketball, you know how to play the zone, Billy. You won 2 back-to-back national championships. You know what to do. So we need to implement the zone defense because teams are getting into the lane too easy to get a lot of second chance points. And then last, I wanted to add this. I don't know what's going on with Zach. I know he's saying it's his knee, but don't play games with us, Zach LaVine, okay? I understand this is your max contract year, but don't play games. Get clutch sports out of your ear because 1 minute I'm seeing you do 360 dunks, windmills, and all that. Then next minute, you don't want to play. So you need to make up your mind. Are you trying to pace through the season so you can get your max deal, or it's about winning with you? You have to choose one. And I understand injuries happen, but don't use this injury as an excuse or try to make up an injury so that you can get what you need out of the Bulls. Either way it goes, you're going to get your money. So just play hard.
There just seems to be, DeMar DeRozan has carried this team for so long, for the majority of the season.
Right.
Now's where, Zach, if you want that max contract, you want to just solidify it, all right, here's your time to step up. All right, DeMar DeRozan has done a phenomenal job to this point. Back-to-back game winners, the whole 9, the whole thing. Okay. Zach needs to be that go-to guy. Zach needs to carry the load now. Okay. Because we need DeMar to say, hey, let me get 15, 20 points a game. All right. Zach, you got to carry this. Kobe, you got to carry Vooch. You got to carry it. Vooch 21 and 11 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. 21 and 11 for Vooch. Okay. Another double-double.
What was the minuses?
I don't know if they have it on here.
It's horrible. I know it's horrible because he gave up more baskets than he scored. I know he did.
So, other guys got to step up, and that's the thing, is when you don't know who's going to, because here's what teams are doing: they're double or triple teaming DeMar.
Yeah.
They're double and triple teaming him. He's got to have somebody to go to, and someone else needs to be ready, willing, and able to knock down a shot, and that's Zach. You want that big contract? Here's your chance to prove it. Here's your chance to solidify and show that you are a star. Okay? Because it seems like, and it's okay if you defer to DeMar this season because of what he's done. I get it. But you also have to let people know that you're dangerous too, and he's not doing that. Now is the time he needs to step up, is specifically because you put it this way. You do this. You step up. You win a couple games. You hit a couple key points, or you know what? It's not even buzzer beaters that I need. These are the baskets that you need to get to stave off a run. All right, someone's coming up on, they're trying to bring it within 3 or within 5, and boom, you hit a 3 to push it back to 8. All right, as teams get closer, those buckets that extend the lead, those are key. So it doesn't get close, so you don't have to win it late in the games. This, along with, hey, listen, I did all this on a bad knee, this will get you your contract that you want, but you got to earn it, Zach. You really, really do.
And this is coming straight. Zach is taking his cues, and I can see the change in his behavior. Zach is taking his cues from the school of lazy basketball of Clutch Sports. I'm seeing a lot of empty possessions from Zach LaVine, like losing the ball off his foot. This ain't even about offense. It's not just about offense with Zach. It's IQ stuff. Like, this is stuff that you can correct by just watching basketball, doing dumb stuff, throwing passes into triple teams, losing the ball off your knee, then giving this blank look on your face like, oh, it wasn't me. Yeah, it was you, okay? You're blowing opportunities for us. And then whenever we get momentum, he comes in, and for some reason, he always misses his assignment. No, we can't baby you anymore. You got the necessary help. Stop listening to the 4-foot midget and Rich Paul, who continues to give you bad information, just like he gave Anthony Davis, they call him street clothes, which he's on the sideline right now. He gave bad information to Ben Simmons. Look at him. Now he's afraid to play in Philly. All I got to say is this. Stop listening to Clutch Sports, okay? Play your games. Like, do what you need to do to be a legend, okay? Stop playing games, bro.
It's difficult when they're your representation. You're going to listen to your representation. Otherwise, you shouldn't have them as your representation. And now that's a whole bunch of other stuff, but it's not happening. It's not changing.
Well, we're going to be out of here.
It's not changing.
Sign and trade. We're going to do a sign and trade and get them out of here. I'll trade them for Bradley Beal right now. Sign and trade. Get them out.
Okay. All right. As the Bulls host the Milwaukee Bucks, as I mentioned a few moments ago, Grayson Allen returns to the United Center. And, Grayson Allen is a thug. He is a punk. He is the piece of shit that, that goes out to hurt people. Okay. He's a person who doesn't belong in the NBA. Okay. There's no place in him. There's no place in the NBA for it. The fact that the Milwaukee Bucks ownership put out a statement, against the league's 1-game suspension against him, now pisses me off. Now I don't fucking like Milwaukee. Now I can't stand their fucking franchise, because you didn't have to say anything, but to back that up and say, we don't understand why you can understand his teammates, maybe even a head coach. Okay. But then the organization doubles and triples down on it and says, oh, we don't know why he got suspended. Look at the fucking film. Because if they did that to Giannis, then it's a whole nother story. If someone does that to Giannis, it's a whole nother story. Okay? There's nothing wrong with hard fouls. But when you do something like that, what Grayson Allen did to Alex Caruso in midair, like, if you're going to foul him hard, don't let him go up. Just grab him. Just hug him. Just tackle. Just hug him. Period. So he can't get up. So he's got to. Okay, that's more respectable. It's a hard foul, and it's accepted and respected throughout the league. But when a guy's in the air and you pull him down by his hand as he's going up, dude, that was it was a horrible play. It has no place in basketball. He's got no place in basketball. And you know what? If I really don't mind. I would love. And some people say, "Well, take the high road." Fuck the high road. All right. Sometimes you have to stoop to people's level to let them know how respectful you have been. And I wouldn't mind if someone accidentally came down on the bridge of his nose with an elbow. Okay, because it's not as if this guy doesn't come with history. He's done it in the NBA. He's done it in college,
and he's gotten away with it.
And Coach K, who has his last home game this weekend. All right, he put up with that shit, and he fostered that shit. Okay, like, oh, he's a troubled child. He's like Father Flanagan. Oh, there's no such thing as a bad child. No, he you know what? He is a bad kid. Right. That's a bad person when you're trying to hurt somebody, and you're affecting their income, right, their livelihood. It's not like the people he's affecting are making $60,000. We're talking millions.
Right.
What if these guys can't come back to the way that they played before because of your deliberate flagrant foul?
Right.
If you're from the hood, I'm telling you.
Coach K said that.
No. Coach K didn't say that.
Oh, okay,
No.
because I was about to say, well, I thought
No, Coach K. I didn't say it. No, I didn't mention. I just said.
No.
I just said Coach K fostered that shit.
Yeah, I know how he babies it. Just him babying it and not saying anything about it is a disrespect to everyone. Bottom line is, we don't care where you come from. I don't care you come from a broken home. Most African Americans come from broken homes. They don't mean I'm going to go around and clothesline anybody. Bottom line is that he knows better. And I want to say this to the Bucks because they want to act like they cold or something like that. First of all, just like LeBron won that Mickey Mouse championship, you guys had a Looney Tune championship. At the end of the day, okay, if Brooklyn was 100% healthy, you guys would have lost. Y'all struggled with a half-healthy Brooklyn team. That's the only way you guys won. Then second, I think I'm feeling a little Green Bay Packer hate coming through the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay?
They are from the same state. They are from the same state.
Right. So I'm feeling a little Green Bay Packers from the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm thinking they get a few calls from the Packers because they got them a little title, so they feel like, okay, we're going to treat the Bulls just like we treat the Bears. First of all, the Bulls aren't the Bears, okay? This is basketball. This ain't football where Aaron Rodgers can own us and know all our plays because our coaching is pretty much incompetent. With this Bulls organization, no, we haven't been at 100% health, but I believe we can beat the Bucks. Now, tonight, it may be an L. We may take that L. But we still got unfinished business with Grayson Allen.
Yeah,
and
we do.
I hope, and you can quote me on this, okay? I hope when he comes down the middle, there'll be 100 people elbows waiting for him. Now, please, God, forgive me. I'm not wishing any harm on any man. But at the end of the day, that was dirty, Grayson. That was dirty.
Yeah, it was. It was bullshit. It was, and I'm anxious to see how they handle it. You know, I know you don't just go out and just start punching people. Don't do a bill. It's not a hockey game, right? Where you fight for the puck drop. All right, but get him in the game. Get him in the game. Undercut him. Okay, undercut him. Swing the elbow when you know you're boxing him out. You get that rebound. Swing the elbow. There's a whole bunch of shit you could do, and
roadblocks. Remember the old school roadblock? Like when I used to tackle big guys growing up in the neighborhood, and they used to be like, "You're dirty" and all that. I'm like, no. When you out here on this field, you trying to run me over, I'm roadblocking you. I'm not playing no games with you. And I know it's dirty to do cut blocks and stuff like that, but every now and then you gotta lay a little roadblock on somebody. Let them hit the ground so they can feel it.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to stoop to somebody's level to show them how respectful you've been. Right, and how because if they're going to continue to do that, that's frustrating. There's no need for that. All right, you're at the highest level. Okay, you're at the highest level. All right, you don't need to do that. All right, because you're fucking with people's millions and millions of dollars. Like you don't understand. It's deeper than that because you're talking about someone who's probably this person is probably breaking generational curses. All right, they're probably breaking the generational curses that this family has this family's had for decades, and now they're out, and all of a sudden now you do that and you ruin his livelihood. That's bullshit, man. I can't. It bugs me, dude. It really, really, really freaking bugs me. And you know what? And here's the and I really hate taking it here, but if this guy was black, okay, if he was black and ugly as ever, however. I stay Gucci down to the socks. If he was black and ugly, trust me, there'd be a lot of different conversation about Grayson Allen, a lot more conversation about Grayson Allen, and a lot more people jumping in and saying, oh, he's a thug, he's this, he's that, and he shouldn't be in the league. Trust me, because remember how many people said Rodman shouldn't be in the league? How many people said Charles Oakley shouldn't be in the league? Right? Anthony Mason shouldn't be in the league. All right, because they're just thugs. They're just this. Really, just thugs? Okay. All right. Well, you know what? In Grayson Allen gets the same treatment from me that the other thugs get in the league because he's a thug. He's a goon. He needs to be out.
Right. And just like Nick Wright has a punchable face.
Yeah, he does.
Grayson Allen has a punchable face too. And this is the message to the Milwaukee Bucks. If you want to make this about Bears Packers, all right, let's make it about that. First play of the game, clothesline. First play of the game. All play. Let's go. We tackling guys tonight. Guys are going down. Giannis, We jumping on your back tonight. Okay, baby?
You know what? And here's the thing: is the best part. That's beautiful. That's exactly it. What if you do it to Giannis? Okay, what if it does happen to Giannis? Okay, then I'd like to see what Milwaukee has to say, and I'd love to see what Milwaukee has to say. As Giannis is going up for a dunk, you grab his arm, pull him down, see what happens. Okay, this is not the type of thing that is necessary. They cleaned up the NBA a lot. Remember, they got rid of the 90s type of basketball because of the injuries and the superstars that are going down. All right, Alex Caruso is not a face of the NBA. So, we'll give him a 1-game suspension. Oh, and the guy who did it, he's a troubled child. Okay, yeah, fuck that. All right, that's bullshit. All right, he deserved a stiffer penalty. Okay, and I think it should have been 10 games. All right, then he's gonna appeal it, get 8, 7, whatever. I would have been happy with 10 games.
We're gonna give him his own suspension.
Well, I hope so.
Knock him out. So here's the deal: we're gonna send him to the hospital tonight. Now, here's the deal. I'm not. First of all, let me stop because I'm getting a little
fired up,
and I don't want to bad anybody because I know that you reap what you saw. I don't want to hit anybody and then retaliate and then go back and forth. Bottom line is, I just don't believe people should do that. Okay. Now, let me come back down to my senses. We're gonna pray for Grayson Allen. Okay. Hope he does the right thing out there. All right. That's all I got to say about Grayson Allen. Leave it.
All right. Well, you pray for him. I pray that his injury tonight isn't a season-ending, or a career-ending injury. I'll pray for him too. All right. Whatever injury he gets tonight, I pray that it's not career-ending. How about that? Meet me outside. How about that?
Hey, you know it's nothing to do in Milwaukee. So at the end of the day, it's nowhere else to go after the game. So it's only you in the parking lot.
Hey, well, the next topic, one of the topics, Major League Baseball and the Union resume talks on Thursday amid the lockout. This is getting crazy, man. It's really, really getting crazy. Union president, the Union General Counsel Ian Penny, and the executive vice president of MLB, Morgan Sword, participate in the session. Nothing really came about it. So they don't know when the next session is going to happen. The owners are controlling this. The owners they're dragging it out, and the owners have been on record. They don't care if they lose the first month. They don't give a damn. They don't care. All their money is tied up, and once it starts going further into it, then because the TV contracts they have are guaranteed, unless they don't meet a certain number of games, then they have to start paying that money back. So Garrett, watch when as soon as, and I don't know what that number is, but when you can bet, I bet your bottom dollar, I can almost guarantee it. When this thing gets over, it'll be just before that point where Major League Baseball owners have to start giving that TV money back. It'll be just before that. Watch.
So here's the deal. This is what I'm hearing, and I knew it was something fishy going on when it came down to the negotiation. They had the deal done, but according to the little birdie that was on the wall, or the little fly that was on the wall, there was a guy whose name starts with an S and his last name starts with the B, who helped shut everything down when we had a deal on the table. And you know who that is. That's Mr. Scott Boras. Okay? So the issue was that they had a deal done, and then Scott Boras came and nixed it. This is a problem, right? This is what I'm talking about when greed pretty much takes over the game. And I know that Gordon Gecko said greed is good, but not in this situation. Greed is never good, okay? Greed is never good because it creates egos the size of California. You can't stop these guys' egos. These guys feel like they should be paid billions of dollars. First of all, most of these guys' talent aren't reaching their contract status. So you're asking for more money and you making millions without a salary cap? Are you kidding me? Man, get it together, baseball. And you're not all of that. You keep talking about you're going to add a DH and you're going to take away the DH. People are tired of the antics. I won't be surprised if the fans will retaliate after all this is over.
By retaliate, you mean stop going to the games?
Yep.
Yeah, and they should.
People just gonna you know what? You can keep my season ticket. As a matter of fact, cancel my season ticket. Okay?
Yeah.
And the Marquee Network, I'm about to take a shot at them too. Hopefully I get employed by them in the future. But I just want to say this, okay? Get it together. No more karate movies. I don't want to see anything based on.
Is that what they have on there? What are you just bull jiving?
You have
on what, Marquee?
Yeah.
No, they'll have some movie. They'll have baseball movies on there. They'll have like, once in a while, but lately it's been a mixture. They have to, find other sports. You got other sports being played on there as well, and then reruns of the Cubs.
I don't want to see reruns of David Carradine Kung Fu, okay, bro? I don't want to see it, bro. Hey, bro, I don't want to see that, bro. That's how bad the programming is. We need to get that together, though, dude.
Dude, that is hilarious. I don't have that network. I mean, why would I? But so I don't know what's going on. But that's hilarious, dude. That is hilarious. Well, the next.
By the way, I'm just joking.
The next time of the morning topic: the Bears. All right, the front office people are doing their due diligence. The new regime down in Indy, down in Naptown at the NFL Combine. And they are doing their due diligence. And man, let me just tell you, let's just say that Chris Olave ran himself out of any chance whatsoever of being a Chicago Bear. Chris Olave yesterday is a wide receiver from Ohio State, Justin Fields top receiver. This son of a biscuit decides to freaking run a 4.26. Deuces. He's gone.
Right.
He's off the board. There's no way. And trust me, just because he's a 4.26 doesn't mean he's great. But he's got chemistry with Justin Fields. Then there's another guy. There's another receiver I can't remember from Ohio State as well. David Bell, the guy from Iowa. He ran a 4.6. I was like, oh, dude, you're killing me. But there's a guy that unfortunately is flying up the draft boards, and someone had mentioned him to me during the season, and they said this would be a great guy to get, and that's Christian Watson from North Dakota State.
Okay, tell me about him, Sean. Tell me about him. What you
dude? This dude is a 6'4", 6'5". He is a more athletic version of Randy. He's about a Randy Moss type deal. All right, because Randy Moss he's smoother. Like he's cut the way he runs. And Randy Moss had phenomenal straight ahead speed. All right, and he was able to cut back on you because you're so scared of his straight ahead speed. You're running full speed and not usually under control. This guy, because North Dakota State doesn't pass the ball a lot. All right, so his numbers aren't going to be as prolific or eye popping as the numbers of other people. But in watching it, one, he goes up and gets it. Two, this dude can run. I did. Armando, dude, it's funny you mentioned that, Armando. I asked him about it. I texted him about it. I asked Hoopstradamus, our guy, Adam Shalafu, who's working in Fargo.
Oh.
And I asked him about him. I texted him the other day about him, and he was telling me this dude he goes, I can see him being a Pro Bowler. This guy runs like a 4.3, all right, at 6'5". Goes up and gets it. The kid's out of Tampa.
And he can catch.
And dude, this dude can go get it.
He ain't like Willie Mays Hayes.
No, he's not Willie Mays Hayes. Nope. He's not Devin Hester. He's not the wide receiver Devin Hester.
Hey, what do you say about Willie Mays Hayes?
He said you may run like Mays, but you hit like shit.
Oh, dude. So yeah, man, there's a lot of good stuff going on down there, and it continues today, and it's I'm happy to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys do, how they draft, and me and Ivan have gone back and forth on what to get with their first round pick. But let me ask you this question before we let you go. All right. Yeah.
Second round pick.
What did I say first? When I say
their first,
when I say first, I mean their
first pick.
When I say their first pick, I mean the first pick. Or if I say first round, I mean their first pick is what I mean. Joseph, would you trade Khalil Mack for maybe a second and a third?
If I was them, if I was the Bears, I'll hit free agency, go get one of the top offensive linemen. Then I'll draft that receiver.
I'm asking a specific question. Would you trade Khalil Mack to get a second and third?
No.
Okay.
Because we might. It's pretty much, with the type of defense that Coach Eberflus wants to play. I think it's going to benefit the defensive unit. So this is not the year to get rid of Khalil Mack, especially he can rejuvenate his career with the type of physical play, especially with some young bloods coming in. So I would like to see this defense get another 2 or 3 years and then turn it over to the young guys. Now, as far as with the draft, like I said, if you aren't going to go offensive line in the second round, go to free agency and get a top offensive lineman and then draft the receiver that you're talking about. If we have to move up or trade up for some type of capital. And I know we're running out of capital, but
we are.
We'll do that.
We are. In Southside Bear just said it would be a classic Ryan Pace move. But he wouldn't be mad if he traded up to get Olave. The Watson, the kid from North Dakota State, he's projected as a fifth rounder. He's not going to be a fifth rounder. He might be a third. And I don't know and here's the only problem though. I don't know if I would sit and wait for him in 3. You don't want to overdraft because remember some guy named Adam Shaheen who just really sucked. I don't want to overdraft, but you also don't want to lose out on the Christian Watson sweepstakes because I think this guy could be, and he's a returner too. This dude, I would, if I were you, Joseph, just Google his highlights. Christian Watson, man, dude, big fan, and then he's been getting a lot of love, man, a lot of love after this combine. I'm like, man, dude, this that really sucks, dude. It really, really sucks because now everybody's on him. All right, everybody's on him, and there's kind of how remember Patrick Williams from the Bulls. Remember, a lot of people didn't know about him because there was no NCAA tournament. Had there been an NCAA tournament, he might not have been there for the Bulls a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? The whole country would have seen him, and that's the situation that's happening now. Is he's getting a lot of love, a lot of looks, and man, yeah.
And I want to say this before I go. Please forgive me, God, for encouraging Ivan to cuss. Okay, Ivan, and please forgive me for doing that. So I just want to make sure I get that on the record. But anyway.
You don't have to be on the record with us.
I'm on the record with God. I want to make sure that.
Well, we don't have to have to be on our record, just as long as we do with him.
Still Judgment Day. I'll be on the record, bro. So I ain't about to play no games, but I wanted to do that first. But second, I will
document it. Hey, God, go back on March 4th in 2022. Here's what I said.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. He's gonna go back to March 4th.
It's on the tape. It's on the tape.
To use prophetic. Are you kidding me? You're going to hell. But bottom line is that I will check out his YouTube highlights.
Please do. And then holler at me on Monday. You'll be like, damn, dude, this mug's no joke. And now, mind you, he's in a 1AA or FCS. So it's, the competition isn't going to be the type of, he's not a Power 5 guy. But, miss me with that. There are plenty of guys who come from FCS now or Division 1AA who can play, who are stars. So don't give me that. This guy's got all the talent in the world, and this is the kind of receiver that Getsy has worked with, that Getsy has really, really thrived with. Look at Devontae Adams. Look at Lazard. These guys are big. They're tall. And this dude, the Bears they spoke to him twice. They spoke to him twice already. It's at the Senior Bowl, and then now at the Combine. They spoke to Watson twice. I'll tell you what, if they jump up to get him in the second round or with that, I'll be more than happy. I will be extremely excited. Okay, but that means now there's a lot of pressure on you, kid. There's a lot of pressure on you. If they jump up to get you, there's a lot of pressure. And
I keep hearing Ryan Poles say, "I want a playmaker." That's what he keeps saying.
That's what we need. That's what Joseph. That's what we've been saying. He's obviously he's not blind like the previous administration. He sees what this team needs. He realizes that who on this team, Joseph, would you are you scared of? If you're a defense, who are you scared of?
Exactly. And that's what I said. That's both on the offense and the defensive end. Because if you look at our offensive line, like, you're not scared of them. And like Ryan Pohl said, they're not protecting the quarterback. It looked like they were giving up, breaking down protection. Like they really wasn't making the necessary effort to protect their quarterback. He said when he looked at the tape, he was very disappointed at the offensive line. We were all he just echoes. Look, this just shows you the delusional grandeur tour that we've been on in Chicago for so many years, not just with the Bears, but also with the Bulls. But I'm so glad that we got management in here that can actually see things for what they are, just like the fans do.
And that's refreshing. Hey, Joseph, great stuff, I'll have a great weekend. You got any big plans? I know it's going to be a little nippy, but you got any plans?
Well, I'm supposed to be interviewing, hopefully, Ayo Dosunmu this weekend. Okay. And Lance, get in touch with me, Lance Irvin, please. Okay, please get in touch with me. I'm trying to follow through.
All right. Hey, we'll see you on Monday. And hey, I want to ask you about Christian Watson's highlight film. You better check that out.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. And
all right,
definitely check it out because his first name is Christian. It's like Christian. All right, peace out.
We got to go, guys. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my man, Ken Davis. And we have a lot to talk about. This Bulls loss yesterday, making it 3 in a row. Chris Olave running a 4.29 or 4.26. Christian Watson, Major League Baseball. We got a lot to talk about, my man, Ken, and I can't wait for us to get to it. Ken Davis on the other side of the break. So keep it locked right here, folks. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Hi, this is George Iceman Gervin. I listen to Shawn and Maya in the morning.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. It's unknown when baseball and the Players Union will meet again to try and hammer out a deal to get the season started. Deputy Commissioner Dan Hallam and Chief Union Negotiator Bruce Meyer met for an hour and a half Thursday discussing the major issues in the stalled talks to reach a deal. Union General Counsel Ian Penny and Major League Baseball Executive Vice President Morgan Sword also participated in the session. The sides had made progress earlier this week, but were still far apart on areas that include the key economic components of the luxury tax, pre-arbitration bonus pool, and minimum salaries. The NFL suspended all aspects of its COVID-19 protocol, citing recent trends showing the spread of the coronavirus is declining. The league is still encouraging everyone to continue monitoring for symptoms of COVID-19 on a daily basis before entering the team facility. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
time you were gone.
Well, we all heard that.
You couldn't wait for me, dude?
I was trying to wait for you. I was going to come in, and then you were already on the screen. I was like, oh, shit, let me get out.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. As you see this on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday, it's the weekend, baby. And it's my man sitting with me now. That's my man's in them. Ken Davis. What's up, Papa? How are you?
What's popping, man? I'm sitting here. My son is texting me mess, so I'm not in the best mood. He texts me, right? He's like, Dad, can you bring me my LeBrons? What's up, Mondo? So Patty, I said, what's up? He's like, can you bring me my LeBrons? We're playing basketball last period, right? I'm like, dude, first of all, I sat outside his school. Well, I didn't sit outside his school entirely for 2 hours. Just on Thursday, I have to wait for him for his practice, right? So he brings me his sister, and I wait. I went and grabbed some food and went to get a car wash. The car wash snapped off my windshield wiper.
What?
Yeah, I've never had this happen to me a day in my life, as many car washes as I had. I'm sitting in my truck, Shawn, and I see like my windshield wiper get caught, and then I see it pop off, and then it slowly goes above, and I want to reach through the sunroof and grab it, but I'm going to let all the water into the car. But I'm like, damn, that's my windshield. I'm like, man. So I'm like, all right. So now I can't even clear off the water because I'm afraid of scratching my windshield, right? I have to drive to an O'Reilly's, right? I go to O'Reilly's.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, I go to O'Reilly's, right? The dude, I got a mask on. I got my daughter with me. The dude recognizes me. He's like, I don't know. It's like, I know you. And I'm like, okay, now in my head, I'm kind of like, So he's like, yeah, it's like some bear stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, some cool brother, dude named Justin. Shout out to Justin at O'Reilly. So I take that, and I go outside. Now it popped it off, but it didn't pop it off. So now I have to rethink on how, because it's been like 2 years since I replaced my windshield wipers. I don't go out like I used to go out.
And they're different.
Yeah, and the thing was, I kept the brand of the last ones I had because my windshield wipers weren't bad, but how they made them, they had like this type of gel on them so that as they wipe my windows, it would make water bead up, right? So they were still really good. It just didn't have that gel on them. So let's just say if it was intermediate rain, they would make the sound like rent because it wasn't enough water on them, right?
Gotcha.
So, but I like the brand, the Trico, but I couldn't remember which brand it was. So I ended up getting some that weren't as good. And now I got to figure out, okay, wait, damn, it didn't clean break off. How do I undo it? Then I finally hit it, I cut my hand, I popped it out, and I popped the things back in, and we went on our merry way. So anyway, the boy texts me just like 30 minutes ago. He's like, yeah, I need you to bring my shoes to school. And I'm like, wait, I got to wait. He has practice today. I have to wait for him, right? It's my child. I have no problem having waiting on him, right? But this fool's going to sit there and be like, yeah, I got we doing basketball last period. So wait, now you're telling me to get to your school
earlier?
Right?
To wait longer.
And the shoes that you want to wear that I got you, he hasn't worn them. But one of his classmates is having a sneaker party. A young lady's having a sneaker party.
You got to show
out.
Like,
why would you debut your kicks on a You don't even play basketball, kid. It'd be different if he was like, my son was like, I ball, son. Bring me my kicks. I'd be like, here you go. Like, no, you don't even ball. So, like, I'm like, what are you talking? Like, what are you talking? He's like, I'm sorry for bothering you, Dad. I'm like, you're not bothering me, but just think the plan out, son. Just think about it. That's all. But yeah, that's my life in a nutshell.
Dude, that's great stuff, man. That's great stuff. Yeah, man. Oh, man. You know what? You know what else is great stuff? Our Bears front office down in Indy. I'm excited about that. Chris Olave, I think you heard already in the last week, Chris Olave just ran himself out of any chance the Bears can get him with a 4.26. He's just like, he's like running away. Bye, Bears. Bye, Justin.
What are these kids on right now? In the training regiment, the track training regiment, they got him locked. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think, to be honest with you, I didn't think he was gonna. There's still a chance. Let me say this. There is.
But
you're right. But that's going to tell teams. That's going to reinforce teams that were thinking about taking a chance on him, like, yeah, you know what? We basically shouldn't let him pass. He comes from a big program, played in big time games,
national
right?
championship game a couple years ago.
Exactly. So, I mean, dude, because we had a kid run a 4.28 yesterday too, right? I thought I saw.
No, it's a 4.21. Tied the record. 4.21.
See, I love combine, but it hit me last night that I was like, wait, I haven't spent any time really just with the combine on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm recording all of them. So this weekend,
you're gonna binge it. You're binge watching.
I'm all getting all my combine stuff in because I'm not on it as usually that I'm usually up on. I think another thing too, having a quarterback. Getting a quarterback last year kind of has it where it's like, I know the things they need, but I'm not as focused on it. If they would have had a first round pick, I think I would be locked in a little bit more.
I understand.
But playing this what drops to me kind of role, even though it's my job, that's why I'm going to bone up on it. It's just one of those things where it's not as glamorous, but they got an opportunity at the top of the second. I mean, there's going to be players that drop. Now, I would probably say, again, you know, if you can get a receiver, definitely go get a receiver. But the only thing about a receiver, though, sometimes it just takes a minute. I mean, it takes a minute for them to make it in the pros. Nowadays, though, a lot of them do pop early, but traditionally, the majority of receivers drafted in the draft, it takes a few seasons before you start to really get production out of them. Look at Mike Williams. You know what I'm saying? Think about how long that was that Mike Williams was at Clemson with Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And he really just burst out last year. I mean, consistently. He was a contract
year 4?
In the
contract year.
Right? I always watch those guys. But
you know how crazy that is, dude? Like if you want, and I know the union would never go for this, but if you literally had so every year you can opt out. Well, I guess you can if you're in the NFL. You can cancel it, but you get your money up front if you're a first round pick. But look at players how they ball out every contract year. Every damn near 85 to 90% of the guys ball out contract. You're like, dude, where the hell that come from?
You gotta watch
contract
those guys.
Year. Oh shoot, okay, no wonder.
You gotta watch those. Traditionally, as a kid growing up, and I learned that like if a dude he really does not hit production until his contract year, that's a red flag, to be honest with you.
Big time.
All right, that's a red flag because now that he worked for something and he finally is rewarded it. Now is he going to continue to have the same work ethic that clearly he may have not had earlier on because Mike Williams was hurt a lot, but still there was a lot of drops in San Diego, and now with LA. But it takes a second. But I'll say this: you may not be able to get that receiver in the second round. You may have to wait to the third round. But there should be a cornerback. There should be a lineman. There should be a 3 technique guy I mean at the top. Now, offensive lineman, it may not be at the top of the list depending on what position you're going after. Like if you perhaps looking at who's the top center or guards, you know what I'm saying? But 3 technique, you may be able to get the second best, third best 3 technique guy at the top of the second round. Cornerback, you may be able to get the third or fourth best cornerback, which ended up being the best, depending on just teams drafting for the styles that they have and the schemes. You can still get a lot of value at those positions at the top of the second round. So again, I'm going to jump in, but I thought he was going to probably be gone before Justin Fields could reignite with his old college wide receiver.
Yeah. So you know what I think we need a receiver with that first pick, our second round pick, the first pick that we have. I go receiver, and here's why. I think our offensive line is good enough to run the ball. All right. And that changes the whole complexity of a defensive pass rush. I'd say if you want to get an offensive lineman, go get a center. Make sure that dude can run this offensive line. Because I think Jenkins, Borams, Whitehair, all those guys, I think they can be fine. Because remember 2 years ago when you
didn't have nothing.
What was his name? The offensive coordinator for 5
Harry
games?
Hestet?
No, Laser.
No.
When Bill Lazor,
okay.
When Bill Lazor started calling the plays, right? And all of a sudden, Dave Montgomery started having 100+ yards.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We weren't complaining about Charles Leno at that point. He was still on the
playing
team.
They was playing a lot of sucker ass teams though.
But that's not the point. The point is, I get to that. I understand. But the fact is, when you run the ball, it changes the dynamic of a pass rusher, of a defensive lineman. And you have 2 really good, one great and one budding star running back on your team. We're going to run the ball. This is a Kyle Shanahan type offense. We're zone blocking you to death. And You're not going to be able to come after that quarterback.
Do you have the lineman when you look at Ryan Poles talking about getting quicker and getting leaner? Again, this is a problem. And sometimes this is with you. You had us one a lot, right? Being your buddy, I'm going to tell you. And I love it because I can be the curmudgeon and I can come in like, you know what I'm saying? So you fall in love with guys. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Bulls core last year. And you was like, man, I'm like, dude, that's not a core over there, right? With this offensive line, to me, I'm being honest with you, they have enough bodies where it's like, yo, y'all can figure this out. But they may not be Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham people. You know what I'm saying? And even though they have the bodies, they might not be the type of bodies that they think fit into the systems or schemes that they plan on running in the future. So even though I'm in agreement with, man, this is another thing too, compared to 2020, what they had in that offensive lineman room, they got a lot, but it may be a lot of average though, like, you know, slightly a little bit above average, but a lot of average. I don't know if Ryan Poles sees those guys as like, you know what, I have to rework it, but I have everything there. So that's my only hesitation with being like, yeah, you know what, they may have had their lineman. And you kind of hit on a point too. It may be that they need to hit on that center to where it's like, you know what, Sam, you know, you're going to have Phil on here later. TT&L guys been on Sam Mustapha's ass. You know what I'm saying? It's time for you to go. We need someone who's not an overachiever at center. We need someone who is just naturally great up front in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And you may look at that and then be like, okay, maybe left. We may have to go out and get someone. But the rest of this, I can use what you already have here. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only hesitation is as far as saying like, man, they don't need a lineman. Because in my heart, I feel like that. But in my mind, I know that these guys may not be guys that Ryan Poles views as Ryan Poles guys.
They're going to have to, guys. We're joined by Kenneth Davis, from the host of the Under Center podcast, talking little Bears football with me right now on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. Yeah, it's, you know what, the weight is going to be an issue because Larry Borum came in, he lost a little more weight, and they got to trim down. You know what, and it's going to help them. Very rarely,
the BMI. It's that BMI.
Yeah. Yeah, it's literally what it is.
You weigh the same, but it's like how much fat is it? How much muscle is it compared to fat? Because
look at Aaron Donald, dude.
Aaron Donald, and you know his BMI is crazy. Just
low, dude.
It's not even I mean, we all know from when he first came in the league with the knife training, like just the crazy stuff that he does in the off season. But the reason, like you're saying, one, leverage, or how he's built. But like, dude, he's all muscle. Like, think about like
got abs. You got abs, dude. He's 275, 280 with abs.
That's crazy.
With abs. That you see, like he doesn't have to go. You know, sometimes guys gotta suck him in. Like, oh, nice ab. He's just standing there. Even when his belly's out, it's still carved up. Like,
right, dude. Like, listen, it's funny you bring. Listen, so I was thinking about him yesterday, right? Because and it has they have nothing to do with one another outside of they both were free agents. I mean, they were both coming off their rookie contracts at the same time. I'm talking about Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack. And the thought of, man, we going back into defensive tackle mode now, going back to a 4-3, which I never really like. It's funny. I waited my whole life as a Bears fan to run a 3-4. Right, my whole life, man. I want to have a 3-4, and it was fun. It was fun, right? It was cool
when you had the players.
Yeah, we had the players. But one thing, and it's going to be cool, and I don't really care as much about the scheme. I care as much about the detail that I think Eberflus and the responsibility he's going to hold them to, the standard, I should say, that he's going to hold them to. 3-4 or 4-3 is what I really care about. But to know that we had a nice three technique guy that ended up getting hurt and kind of derailed his career in Tommy Harris, right? And to think about Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald being guys coming off their contracts, and we were able to steal trade for Khalil Mack because him and the Raiders had reached the impasse. And it always hit me like, damn, what if we could have just gotten Aaron Donald from San Diego? Because the thing with Aaron Donald, man, he's the gift that keeps on giving. It's very rare that you have
he's herpes.
Yes, right. It's very rare that you have a player that has been as great as he has that's still consistently great regularly. You know what I'm saying? And healthy on top of it. Yeah. But it's so rare. So I was thinking like, damn, what if the Bears mess around the top of the second round, man? They found a three technique guy, man, and he is good. He's not Aaron Donald, but he's 80% of Aaron Donald. I was like, man, I would love that dude. Right? Like, just think about 9 years of a guy playing right there in front of the center, hitting that gap, right? Just do you know how much we would? I mean, every year he is one of the best. Now, you know how hard it is? I know you know. This is rhetorical. How hard it is to be the best defensive player in the NFL at defensive tackle?
Tackle. Not rush linebacker.
No,
not linebacker
it's
running
a
roaming
double
the
team at hike, dude. I'm not playing in space. Even if I'm a down lineman, it's an edge rusher. I still have an angle in space to try to go around this guy, right? I'm going straight through these MFers, right? And I'm still getting it. They know I'm coming, right? I'm undersized to a degree as far as stature, and I'm still giving them the business regularly, dog. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So I'm right now just talking myself into a shot. I'm 3 technique at the top of the second round. All right.
Okay.
I'm all 3 technique.
So give me your thoughts then. What about bringing back Akeem Hicks, having Akeem Hicks and Bilal Nichols battle for that 3 technique? Because now with a 4 down lineman set with an even front, you got Akeem Hicks one-on-one every play. Because there's a guard, because there's a guy, Robert Quinn to his right or left, or Khalil Mack to his right or to his left, and Akeem Hicks one-on-one with a guard.
If that's what you end up doing, cool. But Hogue brought up a great point on under center this week, right? Do you remember Akeem Hicks before he was a Bear?
With the Pats? No.
Yeah, but think about it. He got drafted by the New Orleans Saints, right? He bounced around. He ended up with the Patriots. He was straight with the Patriots, but not straight enough for Bill Belichick to keep him. Remember that when he came here, compared to his production, that was a team-friendly deal. The reason I'm bringing that up is does he want to play for a new scheme? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he mastered the 5 technique, right? He found his place in the NFL. So when we keep being like, well, he can switch and be a 3 technique guy. Now, it's not that physically he can't. 1, does he want to? You know what I'm saying? But 2, can he do it at the level that he was doing it as a 5 technique is the question, is the only part that I will put out there. And then this is another one too. And it was a different regime. I don't know how ownership feels about how he left that building. You know what I'm saying? Or, so I did him, Bilal Nichols. If you can get Bilal Nichols on a team-friendly deal, I'm down to have his body around.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Team-friendly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, you need bodies. One, you're going to be rotating these guys in. You're definitely going to need bodies. I don't still know if they have the 3 technique guy here.
Tommy Harris.
And you also, but even let's just hypothetically say Bilal Nichols stays, right? You still may want a guy that's just the penetrator as far as the 3 like, I don't even, you know what? He's not in there to stop the run. You know what I'm saying? If they run, he's in there because he's the disruptor. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's undersized or whatever. He penetrates, he gets in the backfield. That's why he's there. You may still want like a 3 technique expert that's not your every down player. You know what I'm saying? So that may be how you look, because to really get this defense working. Because think about it, if they get the guys coming off the edge, if Khalil Mack stays healthy, it's going to be crazy. If you get a penetrator in the middle of that, man, dude, it's going to show up a lot of that mess. Not to say that they still don't have to show up the defensive backfield, but it's going to show up a lot. Hell yeah, when they only got 2 seconds, it's going to help a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then Eberflus, and we also have to look at it like this. I'm sure Matt Eberflus, knowing that, 1, there's more talent on the defense, right? Mm-hmm. And how close the defense is, if he just puts a couple pieces in and then adds in his attention to detail and the standard that he's going to set, that one side of the ball can basically be straight this year. Not to say that they won't try to straighten up the offense, but they have the offensive line. They have the receivers to worry about. They have to worry about, do they have the tight end that they think they're going to need in this system? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's not that you're looking at Cole Kmet as that you don't need to replace him, you may want someone who can either do one of the things he does better, as far as somebody that's more of a pass blocker or a run blocker, somebody who's more of a pass catcher. You know what I'm saying? So with having all of the only thing you straight at on in the offensive line, I mean, the offense is running back, really. You know, you got depth on the offensive line, but you may not have the starters that you think you have. We think we're straight at quarterback, but we still have to find out. I'm not dissing Justin Fields. It's just the truth. He has to prove it. You know what I'm saying? But defensively, if you can find a good middle linebacker, depending on if you move Roquan to weak side, Roquan to weak side, If you can find another cornerback to play opposite of Jalen Johnson, and then you got a guy that can penetrate with the 3 technique, your defense is going to – I mean, dude, they were, 4th or 5th in sacks last year, and one of their sack masters was hurt the majority of the season.
So that's why I think it's going to be – that's why I think this defense has a lot more than many people may think, is because – and here's the one thing, the attitude. All right, the culture and the mindset that Coach Eberflus is going to have and Coach Williams, the D coordinator, is going to instill in these guys. It's going to be different. All right, they're going to be attacking. They're going to be ball hawking. They're going to be peanut punching. They're going to be doing a lot of different things to get the ball out. They're going to, they're all disciples of the Tony Dungy Tampa too. So from down to Lovey down to this guy, like you're going to see that stuff. And when you come in, and we all understand. I mean, you know what? There's an old saying. I'd rather. What was it called? Or how does it go? I'd rather have a pack of lions, a pack of sheep led by a lion than a pack of lions led by a sheep. All right, because your leadership, and we've seen the leadership of Coach Eberflus with the defensive side in Indianapolis. Okay, now he's getting an extension of him as a D coordinator. Dude, they're literally on the same page. So whatever he's thinking, you're going to see. He's not the defensive coordinator, but you're going to see exactly what he wants from these defense. And these guys are going to be very, very active. They're going to be very, very opportunistic. They're going to be a pain in the ass for a lot of teams. And the fact, the part of this, we have a lot of talent on there. So not only are you going to be a pain in the ass, but you're extremely talented. So you're extremely talented, pain in the ass. That's going to be a very exciting defense, in my opinion, next year. And I'm looking forward to seeing that, seeing it come to fruition. I just want to see the peanut punch. I just want to keep seeing that peanut punch. Why is that tackling? Yes. Gang tackling. 7, 6, 7, 8 jokers.
Guys picking up balls that are down and still running them to the end zone just in case.
Just in case.
I'll say this though, because I've been thinking about it since you said it. I think I would prefer a pack of lions led by a sheep. All right, and I'm gonna tell you why.
They're gonna eat the sheep.
That's part of it. That's actually part of it, because they're in their nature, they're lions, right? So if I have a lion leading a pack of sheep, once whatever they're going up against defeats that lion, them sheep are dead, right? But if I have a sheep that's leading lions, as soon as the sheep is dead and whoever attacked that sheep attacks those lions, they're going to revert back to their natural nature. And they're going to go ham. If I got a pack of them, I know at least half of them, if not more, are going to go crazy. But a pack of sheep, what the hell am I going to do except make clothes out of them damn things? So I think
you're a fool.
I don't know. I think I may take the
you know the moral of the story, Jamal.
I know.
You just had to give me shit.
I did.
Just because it's Friday. Hey, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we have another more jamokes we got to talk about. Guys who are holding up my baseball season. All right.
It will be when the Sox. It will be when the Sox are good too. It will be when the Sox.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about these jamokes. I hate you for that, but that was very on point. Okay, you're fair. We're gonna bring up Tab Bamford coming up next. We're gonna talk about this MLB lockout situation. Any end in sight? Are these owners just flexing their power and really holding this off until the last moment, until the point where they have to return the TV money? Because that's what I said. I'm like, they're gonna hold it off just to the point that 3 days before they have to start returning that TV money. They're like, no, we're gonna keep that money. All right, what did you want again? Okay, you got it. Tab Bamford on the other side of the break, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. It's unknown when baseball and the Players Union will meet again to try and hammer out a deal to get the season started. Deputy Commissioner Dan Hallam and Chief Union Negotiator Bruce Meyer met for an hour and a half Thursday discussing the major issues in the stalled talks to reach a deal. Union General Counsel Ian Penny and Major League Baseball Executive Vice President Morgan Sword also participated in the session. The sides had made progress earlier this week, but were still far apart on areas that include the key economic components of the luxury tax, pre-arbitration bonus pool, and minimum salaries. The NFL suspended all aspects of its COVID-19 protocol, citing recent trends showing the spread of the coronavirus is declining. The league is still encouraging everyone to continue monitoring for symptoms of COVID-19 on a daily basis before entering the team facility. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. As I got caught eating my tangerine because I can't eat meat today. You know, can't eat meat. You know, shout out to all the guys who had sex before marriage, but don't eat meat on Friday. That's me. It's a sin.
Oh,
shout out to us.
That was dope. Oh man. That's a good one right there. That's a good one right there, man.
But it was only one, so it could be overlooked.
The sins. You know what? Real quick, I'm to a degree. I'm happy with like these younger kids. Sex isn't as normalized as it was like when I was coming up. Like, and not to say like my son will come and tell me, but I don't feel like they have the pressure that I felt like as a young man that we had when we were coming up. That's all I
understand. Yeah. A lot of other things like video games.
Yeah, you don't need to be worrying about all that. It'll come. You'll get there.
Pun intended. Thank you very much. You'll be here all week.
And
on that note,
you set me up. I didn't even know it was.
Our next guest. It's been a while since we've had him on. I'm looking forward to talking to him, and he's a co-host. Let me say that again, 5 times real fast. The co-host of Line Drive Radio, and guy I can't wait to get to. So let's get out. You can find him on Twitter at @the1tab. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Tab Bamford. Tab, what's up, Papa? How are you?
It's good to see you guys. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of baseball to talk about.
Well, we do, but not a lot of action to talk about. There's just too much, posturing, too much this, too much, the owners are. Well, give me your thoughts. Is it more owners right now, or is it the players?
Owners, 100% owners, and I think that the owners vastly underestimated the depth to which the players were aware of their business practices. And I think when you saw the tax returns for the parent company, the Atlanta Braves, come out in the middle of the self-imposed final week of negotiations, and you saw the 9-figure revenue that the Braves drove for said parent company.
Oh, dude, he froze. He froze on us. He froze on his tab. No. Oh, goodness. You there? Shoot. And we'll try and get him back. We'll try and get him. Goodness. We'll get him back in a second. He's talking about when the Braves had a show. They showed their financials. That was tough. That was tough. You're like, whoa, you make it what? You make it what?
Be broke, even though they have a new stadium. All right, moved out to the suburbs where they felt like they could align with their fan base. But yeah, when you're claiming poverty and you're out here generating this much revenue, it's something to be said. I'm proud that the players are sticking up. I didn't, to be honest with you, I was unsure how far the players are willing to go, particularly for the younger players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We got him back. Tab, you there, buddy? All
right, I'm here. I apologize.
No, don't worry. It happens. It happens.
The Wi-Fi decided to break wind. So, in any event, the players are way too knowledgeable now about what the owners are up to, and you've seen that. And you saw Ross Stripling first, one of the player reps, tweet out that even though the owners were pushing this narrative that they were meeting them halfway and they were giving concessions at 2:00 in the morning, that they slid a bunch of junk through on the bottom line in the fine print, and the players slept on it, woke up, realized that they were trying to take advantage of them, and backed away. And they should. And then you see Jason Hayward come out, and Shawn, your point, the owners know exactly how many games they need to play to get all 100% of the money from their TV partners and their brand sponsors. And they know that after opening day, the gate's not going to drive a lot of rev for them in April, especially the cold market teams, which is a whole other soapbox about why the hell the Cubs are playing in Detroit or something, or the White Sox are playing in New York in April, when you should have all of the road trips to Texas and Florida and Atlanta and Southern California in April for the cold market teams. It isn't like ESPN doesn't want to see Aaron Judge and Mike Trout the second week of the season. It isn't like nobody's going to watch Boston play, somewhere that's warm.
Texas.
You get the same ratings, right?
Tampa.
So get New York, Tampa, get Boston, Anaheim. And then you find out, and I think this is going to be a huge problem for both sides, when you find out that it was 4 small market teams that were really pushing this idea of not allowing the competitive balance tax to go up. And it was Detroit, which Mike Ilitch would not have been that, but he passed, and his kids are running the show now. Mike Ilitch never had a problem spending money to go for it. Cincinnati, not a surprise. Arizona, not really a surprise. And the Angels. And Mike Trout has suddenly decided to be vocal about a labor issue on social media. And you've got maybe the 2 most watchable guys in the sport. I mean, that's a big conversation, but if you've got Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on a team that an owner doesn't want to have the competitive balance tax go up.
Tab, wait. I got a question. Wait. Well, Artie Moreno, if I'm right, is the owner of the Anaheim LA.
Yes.
And they're building something out there akin to like SoFi, as far as like he's now, I remember like last year opening up a Wrigleyville around there now.
Yes.
And you're claiming poverty right now?
It isn't that he's claiming poverty. He just don't want to pay him.
Damn. Yeah. Oh, you're right.
He wants the tax to be lower and stay under the tax.
Difference. There's claiming poor, which you've got teams like Pittsburgh and Kansas City and Tampa that can legitimately say, we're not driving 9-figure revenue every year like Atlanta just did when they won the World Series. So we can't, that's why you don't have a salary floor in Major League Baseball like you do in the National Hockey League, which I hate the hard cap, but look, it works. There's parity. In baseball, you can't force people to spend money wisely, but if you force them to spend money, they're going to retain talent. And Tampa and Pittsburgh have not retained talent. I mean, you go back and look at the 2011 draft class for the Pirates, they should have won something. When you've got Tyler Glass now as like your 4th pick, you got Garrett Cole and Josh Bell.
Yeah.
It's about drafting and developing. Yes, baseball more than any other sport is draft and develop. It isn't plug and play like the NFL and the NBA, and hockey it's kind of in the middle there because it takes a little development time with the NHL. But baseball, you draft a kid, especially out of high school, or you sign a kid out of Latin America as a 16, 17-year-old, 4 or 5 years seasons, from seeing them in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
So there's so many things going into this, but I think when Major League Baseball started talking international draft, that was a can of worms that they should not have gone to. That's something that is going to get a whole big part of the players union not on board and never will be on board. And that's a massive miscalculation. And I say that wearing my Roberto Clemente shirt.
Why shouldn't they have gone there, Tab? Can you explain that to us?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. One of them is all of these individual teams have started to invest in academy systems. So you go down to Puerto Rico, Dominican, And you've got complexes that are built and paid for by the Orioles, the Braves, whomever. It's not like IMG down in Florida, because I think even at IMG, there's more of a focus on education. They claim that there's some education in there, but let's be real.
I was like, yeah, it's good enough to pass.
It's like you go down to the Max and McCook and watch kids play baseball every night. That's what it is, without the school part. But they've invested a lot of money in these academy systems. So that's one problem. The biggest problem for me is Major League Baseball doesn't have the infrastructure to fully put together an organized, calculated, appropriate international draft. If you look at what the National Hockey League does, they have what's called NHL Central Scouting, where they produce rankings of hundreds of players, that are broken up between North American skaters, US and Canada, European skaters, which has Russia, Scandinavian countries, Germany, all of them, and then they've got goalies from Europe and North America. So you've got 4 different sets of rankings that you've got out there. Is Major League Baseball suddenly going to cannibalize the scouting process that all of these teams have spent so much money on and produce a centralized ranking for these teams to consider and have centralized scouting reports on these kids? Hell no. They've spent so many years and so many millions of dollars under the table developing relationships with the Biscones and different handlers in these different countries. Teams that want an international draft are the teams that don't have their crap together and can't sign the elite prospects. That's what it is. You've got the Pittsburgh Pirates that look at the Cubs getting Christian Hernandez and the White Sox getting whatever they want out of Cuba. You know why the White Sox get whatever they want out of Cuba? His name is Jose Abreu. Yeah. And he's paying respect to Manny Minoso and Alexi Ramirez. That's what it is. These teams have invested time and money and infrastructure in having pipelines into these different countries. And I think if you start talking international draft, there's so much infrastructure that would have to go into that. I mean, look, dragging a kid out of Latin America at 17 years old who may or may not know the English language and dropping them in Portland,
right,
and have them live with, a house family on
Birmingham,
$500, $700 a month, eating peanut butter and jelly. I mean, I've talked to minor leaguers, and I went out to the Kane County Cougars 3 years ago, and their translator was the backup catcher who spent 3 years at the University of Maryland.
Damn.
Out of Venezuela. Okay, so that's the translator. And I'm talking to this kid who's now one of the top prospects in baseball, Geraldo Perdomo. He's 19 years old. He's got braces on his feet, on his teeth. You watch him in the infield, he looks like Carlos Correa. He's a 6'2", 6'3", switch hitting, smooth as butter, middle infielder, shortstop. Great prospect. I interviewed him in a closet where they keep all the mascot crap, with the backup catcher translating, and he's telling me about how hard it is to live with a family in Aurora, finding out that his parents are getting divorced in the Dominican. He can only talk to him on WhatsApp or FaceTime.
Damn.
So let's just get real here. There's a lot that goes into these young Latin American kids trying to get in, and they're trying to be a professional athlete. Think about, I've got an 11-year-old kid that plays full-time travel baseball, and I look at practicing 3 or 4 times a week and the tournament schedule and what we're doing with nutrition, stuff like that. And then you think about a 17-year-old kid, a junior in high school, a senior in high school, who's got to do it all on his own with a language barrier, making $700 a month. Yeah, at some point, that Major League Baseball Players Association has to let minor leaguers in. Otherwise, they'll never get taken care of. Lots of soapboxes here. Sorry, Shawn.
Oh, I wanted that. I needed that tap. I needed. And we would never give you all our Cubans back. So I'm just gonna put that out there. We will never.
Cubans, you say?
Those Cubans, yes, they belong to us.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Thank you, Manny Minoso. Thank you.
Yes.
Talk to me about how the owners are using the sports gambling money as well to kind of hold off the kind of mess up negotiations, because it seems like they have money coming in from there as well. It reminds me a lot of, remember when the kids were coming out of high school in the NBA, and before the draft was slotted, like you can only make this amount, and they're like, well, you know what, I don't like that contract. Nike just gave me $45 million, so I'm good. Let's renegotiate. Talk to me about the owners and how is that kind of the similar situation? They know they're getting money from here, so again, they don't really have to negotiate in good faith until a certain point.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's get into business ethics 101 for a second. the previous ownership group in Miami, so owners draw a salary and it's written off as an expense. So let's call bullshit on that, first of all. Second of all, a lot of these ownership groups have either parent companies or subsidiary companies where they shelter revenue. And all that is a really fancy way of money laundering. If you're the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago Cubs Corporation is going to show what they make from their media deals, which, by the way, is with Marquee, which they own. But all of Marquee's revenue is going to be a separate business entity, and it's not going to show as business-related revenue. And all of the stuff that they're building around the ballpark, all the revenue that they drive from the gift shop outside, probably on a separate line item. All the expenses for that, however, are probably going to come off of the Chicago Cubs budget as expenses because the Cubs are paying to improve the surrounding community at Wrigley Field. But the revenue that they drive from is probably going to a different line item. So there's lots of funny math. I mean, the previous ownership group in Miami had a completely separate business entity that was just eating money, and they were paying massive money into that to cover the two principals' salaries and all the business interests in and around the ballpark, and it was all coming off as expenses. So you start talking about how these, like the gambling revenue and the sports book that they're going to build adjacent to the United Center and what they're going to build adjacent to Wrigley Field. I don't think that'll ever show on the bottom line of the Chicago Cubs. And it won't show for the Blackhawks or the Bulls either, because that's part of the business proposition of owning a team. But again, you're talking about owners. They're doing this all over professional sports. Like what the Cubs have done is not revolutionary. Like if you go up to Detroit and look at what the Red Wings built downtown, they paid out of pocket for a massive business district around the stadium. And it's revitalized a lot of downtown. So good for these teams for improving the surrounding area and building a business district. And the Bears are probably going to do it in Arlington Heights too. You have a sports book up there.
Oh, you know they
will.
And
the Bears will have a massive interest in it, but it won't ever show on the bottom line of the Chicago Bears. So there's ways corporately to build shadow corporations and parent companies and get money split from here to there. The difference with the Atlanta Braves is their primary owner is a publicly traded company, so we get to see the books. And you got to see, I mean, they've got a huge area surrounding their ballpark, the Battery, that's amazing. I mean, it's bigger than what they've got at Wrigley. And a lot of that money is going to show on the publicly traded company's tax returns. And that's where players are able to look at what the Braves did and call bullshit.
What did they make? Was it 170, one something?
It was like 145.
Oh, okay, $145.
But still, it's like, and by the way, you won the World Series. It's always bigger the year after.
Right.
You know, it goes back to George Steinbrenner calling BS on the media when they said, hey, you're signing Alex Rodriguez. You're going to pay whatever, $30 million to the other owners because you're so far over the luxury tax. And he looked him in the eye and said, my accountants say that I'll be able to sell $100 million in merchandise and swag and everything else. If I told you to give me $30 in April for me to give you $100 in September, or October, or November, would you do it? And everyone in the media said, damn. All of a sudden, it makes sense.
Yeah. When you put in normal people numbers, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Just
take
those commas away. Makes sense to us when you take those commas away.
Yeah. And the other reality here, too, is, and it's important to frame it this way. A lot of people, a lot of fans, you look at Twitter, and everyone's saying this is just millionaires and billionaires fighting over money that none of us will ever see or realize. But then you go back to they're fighting over what the minimum salary is in Major League Baseball. And I think most of us on the surface would say Major League Baseball has a lot more money flowing through it than the National Hockey League. Because Mike Trout's making $40 million and the richest player in the NHL, Connor McDavid's making $11.25. But the minimum salary in Major League Baseball is less than the National Hockey League. And you're talking about guys that are before taxes making like $650, $675. And when you take the taxes out and you consider a lot of these guys have a limited job security, so they got to figure out where they're going to live. So a lot of it's rental. And if you're a professional athlete these days, you pretty much have to have a nutrition program. You got to have somewhere to work out. Usually you've got your own strength and conditioning coach in the off season. You've got somebody helping you with your diet. You've got a payroll. I mean, it's not MC Hammer's payroll, but it's a payroll. And even at $675,000, you're not living in Oak Brook or Hinsdale or Deerfield making that kind of money. And that's just real. And the majority of players in Major League Baseball are making less than $2 million. The overwhelming majority. And it's because the young bucks aren't getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a stat: 71%, almost 71% of Major League Baseball players have a contract of $1 million or less. 71%. That's insane. So
we're not talking millionaires against billionaires. Max Scherzer's getting his, Trout's getting his, Mookie Betts is getting paid, but almost 3 out of 4 is making less than $1 million, and they're just fighting for a raise, and they haven't gotten a raise in a while, and the owners don't even want to give them and obviously inflation, right, a whole other can of worms, but they don't even want to give them like a standard cost of living increase on an annual basis. They're talking about it being flatline, and they're talking about it going up a certain amount, but in year one, and like $10 million in year one, and then staying put for 3 years. Well, that's 3 a year. That's not 10 million in 1 year.
No,
let's be real.
Yeah.
By the third year, that's a losing proposition for the players. All of most of what they're talking about is a losing proposition for players, all the way from 16-year-olds in Latin America to 35-year-olds still trying to hang around and get some pay.
And even when you talk about them capping it after 3 years, you have to look at in the other Power 4 leagues, the other 3, how much salaries have increased compared to Major League Baseball. It's crazy how much they've increased over the last 20 years compared to baseball. Baseball's like America as far as the rich are going to get richer, but you're going to get 25 cents maybe.
And you're going to have to work harder because you've got no job security.
Yeah.
That silver spoon is not just materializing on your desk. I'm sorry.
Tab, how far are the players willing to really go? Let me put it like this. What's the biggest crux that the players are trying to get done, and how far are they willing to go to accomplish it?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that the players want to move the needle on the competitive balance tax. And that's what those 4 specific teams have been identified now as having a problem with. The reality is that doesn't affect many teams.
Mm-hmm.
Very few go over in a specific year. But I think what the players' problem is, you've got teams that want to get under it to reset the penalties every 2 or 3 years, which is why Mookie Betts is playing in Los Angeles and not Boston right now. Which, by the way, you talk about rich owners. I mean, Fenway Sports, which LeBron bought into, owns a NASCAR team. They own a soccer team in England, the stadium in England. They own Fenway. I mean, they're rolling in money, and they traded Mookie Betts to get under this luxury tax. Think about that. So the players don't want to have the rich be disincentivized to spend money when they can and should. For the smaller market teams, I understand what some of their frustrations are, because if that thing keeps going up, you're going to keep having Steve Cohen and the Mets signing everybody, and everybody else is going to have table scraps, to which I say, if Tampa Bay can be in the World Series twice in a decade, paying less than the left side of the Yankees infield, there's a formula to make it work. Get your shit together and recruit and develop and sign and draft and trade appropriately. And maybe you can look like Tampa Bay on a shoestring budget instead of whining about being poor.
Yeah, I agree. It's really all. Yeah, that's really not much else to say.
This was educational, Tab, to say the least.
Hey, Tab, great stuff, buddy. Do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you online.
Yeah, Twitter, the one Tab. And with the podcast, we're on Spotify and everywhere else that you're looking for it. Line Drive Radio, Twitter at Line Drive Radio. And we'll hopefully get that back up and running when we hear something about baseball. Look, they're not that far away. I think a deal gets done. And you know what? I'm looking at that poster on the back wall there, and April 15th is the 75th anniversary of Jackie making his debut. And you better believe there's a big chunk of the players that know that. And I sure as hell hope that there's a big chunk of owners that know that. And that is a significant day for Major League Baseball, to take a moment to celebrate what Jackie Robinson meant, continues to mean, and the improvements that the game needs to make so that there are more individuals who look and play like Jackie Robinson are in Major League Baseball. And so and again, they're really not that far away. If the owners had negotiated in good faith on stuff like the TV deal, I don't think the players would be as jaded as they are. But I think if the players come to the table and say, fine, you can have a 14-team playoff if you give us – that's $100 million in your pocket, so give us an extra 3 on the CBT and we're there. And scratch the international draft until 5 years from now and we come back and revisit it. And then during those 5 years, show us that you're going to build infrastructure to make it happen. I think that there's a there. But I think April 15th if that April 15th was opening day and you spent the first day of the regular season celebrating Jackie Robinson, that would go a long way in helping a lot of fan bases feel like they're back in the game. So you figure they've got another week or two here to get something together. And I think they will, because look, there's more than 300 free agents that still need to get paid. You got big boppers like Carlos Correa and Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant that still don't have a job. So when this lockout ends, you're going to see action off the diamond with free agents and trades like we've never seen before, because you're going to have 4 weeks to get it together and get on the field for opening day. So I'm hopeful, and I think that April 15th is the date that I'm hoping and they should have targeted as a drop dead for opening day, because they need to celebrate Jackie the right way this year.
Last question. I know we want to let you go, but spring training, how short is that going to be, or how much is that going to be cut? And then if it is cut, and a follow-up to that, how many more injuries do you think you will see because of a shortened spring training?
Well, I think one thing that Rob Manfred said, without laughing and making us all think about Emperor Palpatine in his cancellation press conference, but one of the things that he said that was completely spot on and appropriate is they need 4 weeks. They had 3 weeks after the pandemic to get their act together. You saw injuries, guys weren't ready, pitchers weren't ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
You need 4 weeks for pitchers to build their arms up, guys to be in shape. I think at this point, most of the batters should be in shape. You should have been in spring training for 3 weeks already. And a lot of these guys have been working since the calendar flipped to 2022. So I think the bats will be ready. But you've got new guys going everywhere. And the reality is, if you give Carlos Correa $200 million, he's got to develop chemistry with his second baseman. And you got to figure out what your batting order is going to look like. And these guys need to figure out when they sign a CBA, it's going to take a week to get guys on the field, because they got to figure out where they're going to live. Situate themselves.
Both
guys
places.
To sign.
They got 2 places they got to figure out what they're going to do for spring training. Because if you've been going to Florida the whole time and now you're going to Arizona, then you got to figure that out. And then if you're in Arizona because you live in Miami and all of a sudden now you're going to Seattle, well, holy shit. Well, you got to have hopefully you have either
and
a
if
girlfriend
Correa
or
signs with the Yankees, he's got to find somewhere to live.
Somewhere,
in the Bronx,
and
that's a whole other proposition.
You got to find somebody else to do that while you're in spring training. So it's crazy.
So it'll take a week to get him on the field. I think if you give him 3.5 weeks to get the arms ready, you should be good. But that's why I say, realistically, you've got probably another week and a half to get a deal done so that April 15th can be opening day.
Tab, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it, man. We'll be in touch soon.
Beautiful. Good chatting with you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tab.
All righty. Guys, that was Tab Benford.
Great shit right there, man.
Dude, that was unreal.
Yeah, dude. That.
Yeah. The co-host from Line Drive Radio, man. Yeah, that's great shit. I'm excited, man. I really, because there's going to be baseball. We know that. We understand that. It's just when, you know what I mean? And it really messed up my going to Arizona trip, which I really would have liked to see, hang out with my guy and check out some stuff over there. And like you said, this is the year that the White Sox are really going to contend. Right. And the thing is, we still have to finish putting that together. We still got to get a starting pitcher. We still got to get a second baseman.
Still got to get an outfielder.
Still got outfielder. And one of the crazy things I heard, and I was like, dude, how much of a kick in the nuts would this be if they signed Chris Bryant for right field?
Ooh, wait. Dude, that would be so hard. That would be so hard. Yeah, man, that one. I wouldn't mind that one.
It's really unlikely because they're gonna go with Vaughn and Sheets and probably lefty righty matchup.
You may have to get rid of that third baseman sooner or later, so you may be able to put him at third. Don't
mess around, dude.
There's
my man. There's my man.
The biggest pass in the city, boy. The biggest pass in the city.
Hey, he's got it to this point now. Now it's his time.
Point. He said to this point.
To this point, he's got the biggest pass.
To this point. Like, he ain't deserved it in 2 years. I gave you to give him 2020 because of COVID, because you was ready to kill him. Right? I was like, he had COVID, Shawn. You was like, what is he doing? Right? Then you let you let that fry, and then you let him do that video last year and do what he played the way he played. Oh my God, he gets the biggest.
And Ivan, you never found me that. You never found me that rapper, you son of a gun. What the hell, Ivan?
Oh,
that was your
found.
job.
It was found. I told you about it. I told you where to find it. It was found.
But no, you know what? He's back on my radar, dude. Because you know what? If he lives up to 3/4 of his potential, holy cow! God forbid he lives up to his potential.
I'm with you, but but you know what? This is the thing too. We're not going to hit on all these guys. That's just the truth. Like this is not going to be the mid-90s Cleveland Guardians. This is not going to be where you got Tomei, Manny, Kenny Lofton, Oral Horsheiser. You know, like this is not going to. I mean, I'm just as far as like, and I'm not just putting this on the Sox. Look at the Cubs. Remember how everyone was like, man, they all going to be straight and great, right? People were saying, and again, Schwarber was supposed to be Babe Ruth, right? I mean, just think like it just hit on all of them. And I'm saying this is throughout baseball is a rarity. All right. It's a rarity for all of these guys to hit their potential is a rarity. So, I mean, he had the most hype out of all of them. He's had the most hype being drafted. Being signed by the Boston Red Sox, given the money that he's been given, where he was as a prospect. He's had the most hype. He has to live up to it, man. Like, that's just – and to be honest with you, it's getting to the point – and, I mean, it's easy to take these digs. He can't do that again if he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. He can't.
No.
All right?
No,
This is Chicago. All right? Like, you cannot be out here with the ladies enjoying life and you are not getting it done on the field. And on top of that, you are well compensated, young man. You're not like these kids waiting to go to arbitration. You got paid when you got signed, and then you got paid again. All right? You need to be focusing on your effing craft. For real.
This is where Jose Abreu comes in.
But see, the problem is, Jose's telling him. He ain't listening. All right? He ain't following. That's the problem. I'm sick of it.
And Yohan needs to come in shape. Like, I think, he came in with the music video and stuff last year. I think coming in shape and the best shape of your life, and he's like, I mean, it's not like he's a fat dude, but coming in with that mentality, like, I'm grinding. I've been grinding this whole offseason preparing for the season. That'll tell not only fans something, but that's telling your organization, I'm trying to get back to what you thought I was. I'm trying to become that. I think a little more maturity could be good for Yohan. Coming in shape. Like, let's see how he comes when they do start up. When they do start up, let's see how he comes into spring training. Is he going to be in shape? Has he been working out, or is he been making music videos showing with the ladies?
Why are you worried about him being in shape? I think he's going to be in shape. I feel like it's not in shape that he needs to be. It's mentally is where he needs to be.
To get that bat off your shoulder
and start attacking early
and run them damn bases. All right, you got too much speed to be like. That's what if he I don't need 310. You give me a mean 285. You steal about 15 bases, but you're in play for like 25 bases. Just letting the people. Just having the catcher and the pitcher be cognizant of, oh man, he may try to go for it. And you play good at the hot corner, I'm straight with Yohan.
But getting yourself back into shape, strengthening your body, strengthening your leg, putting extra work in from the talent that you've already had. That's going to tell you where his mindset.
I'm with you, but see what you're saying is what Shawn is saying. He has to train his mind though. Like, that's the problem is in here with Yohan Moncada. Waiting for the perfect pitch. It's not coming. And the longer you wait, the less chance you're going to get it. Attack. All right? Attack, young man. Attack. You
lasers.
Yes, you have all these people behind you. Swing the damn bat. All right? Swing it. You're going to protect it. All right? You're surrounded.
He's swinging the bat all right. He's out there swinging the bat all right.
Oh, this show's going off the rails, right? That's the problem.
I'll tell you what. You know what? Because I'll tell you what. If he could get back to getting 300, because the thing is he's got a great eye. Okay. but don't rely on that. If you have such a great eye and you realize how pitchers are pitching you, then attack early. Because
Yes.
when somebody has a great eye, what happens is they're going to try and get you with someone like that, and pitchers in general, but something like that, our drunk uncle Hawk Harrelson taught us a lot watching Sox games and talking the difference between 1-0 and 0-1.
Yep.
Huge difference.
Yep.
Say one pitch is thrown, but it changes the complexity of an at bat, the direction of an at bat. Okay, that's where you need your keen eye, and if it looks like you can drive it. Like I don't mind him getting some first or second pitch outs until he starts making too many. Then they say, okay, now what they're doing, now they're teasing you. Now they're starting in the zone, getting it out of the zone, and you're chasing. So now you wait.
Right.
Okay, make them throw that pitch to you. But when they give you a first ball fastball, you're like, oh shit, I'm not ready. You better be ready because they're trying to they might be trying to fast pitch you, okay, or quick pitches, what the technical term. They're trying to quick pitches so you're not ready, and they get that strike in on the inside corner, like, oh shit, now it's 0-1.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're under the fence. Now you got, as opposed to you're ready. He tries a quick pitch, and boom, you got it. I got you, son of a gun. Try that shit again. Right. Now the pitcher's like, oh damn, what do I do now? Right. It's mental, and you know what? What did Yogi Berra?
The thing is, the White Sox have capable people there. They've told him this. They have capable players and vets there. They've told him this. It's him executing it, and that's why to me. Listen, I want the best from Yoel Moncada. He is one of the harbingers of what changed here. He was one of the first domino. I used to think it was a Vel Garcia. You know what I'm saying? That's what maybe we got. Yeah, I thought it was Javi, but it didn't work out with Javi. It now that goes on to him, but he has.
You mean the Bo Jackson comparison from Hawk Harrelson didn't follow through?
No, I didn't follow through. No, not.
I'm just saying, Hawk said some crazy shit in his day, but that one was one of the craziest.
Don't act like Harry didn't say crazy shit either on the north side. That's right.
Harry was a drunk.
Damn.
At least we agree on that. But he was a funny one. That's for sure. That's for sure. Hey, dude, great stuff. You got any plans this weekend, bro?
Yeah. So family doesn't know this. Last night I bought tickets to go see Batman Sunday afternoon. Right.
Oh, nice.
So I'm taking fam. But Saturday night, I got a present for me and the old lady that I had to get finally. I'm going to see
the concert.
I'm going to the concert, baby. I'm going to see New Edition, Jodeci, and Charlie Wilson, baby. All right, I'm about out. Listen, I'm gonna be so hoarse come next week from singing New Edition and Jodeci songs and Gap songs. I'm not big on the Uncle Charlie songs, but them Gap Band songs, oh yeah, you got the bomb on me and all that type of shit. I'm there for that. But Joe, dog, you talking about when we were talking earlier about promiscuity and youth? Boy, you dropped that Jodeci like where I was at in my life when that come on.
Were you in high school or grammar school?
I was in I was in 8th grade. I was in 7th going to 8th grade when they put their first single out. So 8th grade when they really hit. But when the Diary of the Mad Band came out, their second album, I was in the middle of high school. And
dude, I'll never forget. So my guy Al Hebron, all right, he's from the Lou. And he actually lives out here in Naperville. He was small world. His uncle was a security guard. And actually, his other uncle is Crawford. You know, Danny Crawford, the ref, the NBA ref. That's his uncle.
Nuts.
And his other uncle, Danny Crawford's brother, was a security guard at Flower High School, which is now Al Raby. So I've known Al even before. Once he committed to Holy Cross. It was he brought the cassette tape. Mm-hmm. He brought the cassette tape, and I'm like, Jodeci? Jody Kai?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. First time you saw it was definitely Jodeci. The first time you saw it was like Jodeci.
And you know what's funny is like sometimes you say sometimes that could be a good name. Yeah, okay. But like Jodeci? What the It was hilarious, dude, and we so we listened to it. I'm like, we're on a college campus. People who look like us are exotic to the majority of the campus here. Okay, I think we have something here. So needless to say, was on all of my my mixtapes.
Oh, you had
Those
dude.
mixtapes.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember. So real quick, so Jodeci, I came out after my 7th grade year. They had their first single because they kind of disappeared. They had this single. It was like "I Wanna Love," right? Where they were like in the subway in New York, and they had on. Remember those old like trench coats that had, but it had the college teams. So like at first they were black.
All
so
black,
I had like
yeah.
I had a Syracuse one, right?
Okay.
So it had like the orange man right here, and it had Syracuse across the back, and it went down to like my calf muscle, right? Like it was like you was walking like you had a cape on with that bad boy, right?
Yes.
But then they switched it and they started putting it in the colors of the team. So like somebody came in and had like an orange man one or whatever. So Jodeci was in that with the Jodeci boots. And it was like, oh, this is kind of good. And we didn't know the name. It was like Jodeci. But then that my 8th grade year, all the girls are going over talking, falling in love, going to the concerts for Forever My Lady. And that's when they dropped Forever My Lady. That's when I was like, oh, that was the Jodeci kids. Right? And then when they hit, still listen, because Forever My Lady was straight. But you gotta remember, I was in 8th grade, right? So it's like, yeah, I ain't thinking about having no babies. When they put Stay Out, it was a effing rap.
Dude, do you realize the first 5 songs in that album?
Yes.
It was like Stay, Come and Talk to Me.
They always did
Forever
that.
My Lady.
They had a slow side and a fast side.
that
You did not
first
have to
5
listen to the fast side. All you had to do was let the groove play out. All right.
Dude, let me just say this. If you lived in that time, okay, I'm gonna look the camera right in the eye. If you lived in that time, okay, and you grew up and you did not get any action with that cassette tape, you had negative game. Negative game.
Dude. I mean, dude.
Because I knew girls, like I was friends with a lot of girls at Holy Cross, and not like that, like, but they'd be like, some girls actually they said when it came out, and some girls back here in Chicago, like they said they wanted to be having fun during one of those songs. They wanted them to sing it to them. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, nope. Like, I want to be in the middle of that thing with, Forever My Lady. I was like, damn.
I can remember being in Inglewood, all right, singing those songs to young ladies older than me. All right, because I used to always hang with older kids, right? Grinding in the air, singing those songs. Like, oh my goodness, dude. That, what was like that? Well, to a degree, when I got to college, the album that every girl had, because that's one thing I used to pay attention to. What are the girls listening to?
That you had to bingo.
Because there'd be stuff you'd be like, I wouldn't have bought this, but it's like, oh, every girl I mess with has a CD. You know what CD that was? My freshman year in college, 112's first CD.
Okay, yeah.
Girl had 112's first CD. And what was weird, it let me know how big Twister's Adrenaline Rush was, because when I used to go to white kids' rooms and they had Adrenaline Rush, I was like, damn, y'all listen to Twister like that? Like, that was, but 112 was that album that every girl had that was the slow, like, oh yeah, put that 112 on, right?
Yeah, at that point it was CDs. At that point,
definitely.
At that point, it was CDs.
Definitely.
Yeah. So real quick, first of all, have a phenomenal time at the concert. And you know what? I forgot that it got postponed because I didn't hit up my guy Hirsch. I'm really pissed. Yeah, I wanted to go. But anyway, the Gap Band is actually about Black Wall Street.
Yeah, I mean, because they're from Oklahoma.
Right. And the Gap, the name Gap comes from, it's GAP for Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. Those are the areas. So the Gap Band is actually an acronym for Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. So and then You Dropped the Bomb on Me was, that was a dope song, but that was actually about the Black Wall Street. I didn't know if you knew that. So
I didn't know that. I definitely didn't. Damn, I'm never gonna enjoy that song again. Listen, you know a song is messed up. It does that and lets you know how I think I knew, but I forgot. And yeah, Brandon, the pole pimping. See, that's before we left. That brought Twister back. All right, now I remember like people that love New York hip hop. When I had that tape, that pole, it was like, let me get that pole pimp. All right,
you want to ride?
Boom, boom. In the
backseat of my caddy, chop it up with do or
But real
die.
quick, you know a song? Look, I think this song is the greatest groove ever. And like about 8 months ago, I remembered this. I love Candy by Cameo.
Cameo?
Right? I love this, the groove, everything about it, right? And I was with my family about to get on the Calumet on 95th and Stony Island. And I said, you know what? And I think I made it forget. I said, man, this song is about cocaine. Right? Because I'm like, I was like, I can never enjoy this song to my heart like I could. Because he was like, we was talking about like, you take away my appetite, you wrapped up in a little pack. I said, this fool. And I think I thought about it before, but I forgot. I said, I love this song to death, and he is on here talking about coke. I'm thinking he's talking about loving the lady. Yeah, which is right there, right? I can feel it, even when it takes over me. Listen, all right?
It takes over me. Just like candy.
Oh, can you feel it? That's my jam. You put that on. All right, let me get my ass out of here.
All right, man. Good. Hey, have a great weekend.
Too much
have a great
weekend.
Going on.
You too, bro.
We'll talk on Monday.
A safe weekend, man. Everybody have a safe weekend. See you on Monday, man. Everybody take care of themselves. See you, Ivan.
But guys,
peace,
we gotta take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we have more sports conversation. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. It's unknown when baseball and the Players Union will meet again to try and hammer out a deal to get the season started. Deputy Commissioner Dan Hallam and Chief Union Negotiator Bruce Meyer met for an hour and a half Thursday discussing the major issues in the stalled talks to reach a deal. Union General Counsel Ian Penny and Major League Baseball Executive Vice President Morgan Sword also participated in the session. The sides had made progress earlier this week, but were still far apart on areas that include the key economic components of the luxury tax, pre-arbitration bonus pool, and minimum salaries. The NFL suspended all aspects of its COVID-19 protocol, citing recent trends showing the spread of the coronavirus is declining. The league is still encouraging everyone to continue monitoring for symptoms of COVID-19 on a daily basis before entering the team facility. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport. Yeah. It's a romance sport. Yeah, it's a romance sport like that. This one going out.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. Just got done with our guy Ken Davis. Man, that was a that was a fun hour. We had Tab Bamford on at 11:30 to 10:30 to 11, and just dropping knowledge, man, giving us a really really good insight on the whole lockout and it's just a shame, it's just a shame that the owners have chosen to act like this. It really is. It's we do talk, and he brought up a good point. Um, about the millionaires versus billionaires, and I was a victim, or I was actually I've done that myself. I'm guilty of that, is what I want to say. And you have to remember, and when I read that stat, at 71%, 71% of players have a salary of $1 million or less. It's not, it's with all the money that they're making, 140 something million. You know what? And you know what? In baseball, that's not even an NFL salary. What the owners make, because they're making about 300 million, but still, you're in the nine figures. And every year, all right. Like, so when you give someone, $100 million, you're not giving them $100 million right now. It's over the term of the deal. All right, you're giving someone 300. You're not giving them $300 million, all at once. It's over 10, 12, 13 years, whatever it is you decide. So it's only 30 million. I don't mean only as a small amount, but I'm saying it's not a big chunk that you think. So it's just owners being greedy. It's just owners making sure that because they want to manipulate it, because they don't want to pay the players, because they say, you know what, let's just hang out, let's lock them out. It's not negotiating good faith. Take the first month off. That's a month of salaries we don't have to pay. And then come back. Like I said, that's why I asked Tab about that, the sports revenue, the gambling money. Think about that. And for those of you who didn't get it, a lot of times there's an umbrella. Okay? Business 101. Tab did a great job of it. Business 101. So you have an umbrella, like a corporation. Like the Cubs have to show what the Cubs make. Okay? The Cubs are underneath that umbrella. There's like 4 or 5 different companies under that umbrella. You don't have to show what every one of those companies makes under that umbrella. You just have to show what the Cubs make. You know what I mean? It was the Pirates that he said? No, the Braves. Okay. And so when they're getting their sports gambling money, that might be to a different company. So the Cubs aren't going to make that money. That's going to go under the Wrigley Holdings or Ricketts Holdings or something. Okay. So you won't even be able to see that. That's more money. That's all hidden money from the general the general public. There's so much money in pro sports, it's ridiculous. There's even more money in sports gambling. Okay, which is why you see all these. Every single venue is going to have a sports book. And I forgot to ask Tab. I don't know why I did. If he knew if it was legal, and maybe it's legal for one of their companies. Okay, maybe for one of the other companies, the entities, to say, okay, you get to build the sports book at Wrigley. You can have, it'd be Wrigley Renovation, Wrigley Limited. Okay, that's one of the other companies underneath that doesn't run the Cubs. Could they make a deal and say, hey, you're going to pay rent here, but we also get a cut of your profits. We get a 10% cut. If that's the case, if that option is viable, holy shit. Holy shit. Think about all the and here's the thing. I'm not a gambler. Okay. I want to start trying $5 here, $10 here, Think of all the people who have been gambling when it was taboo. Okay, millions and millions of people have done it, are doing it. Then think of the people who, once it became legal, started gambling, and there's millions and millions more. So you think of all, and when we talk about gambling, we're not talking $500. No, it's not that. They make their number in volume. Yes, you're going to hear about the guy put $100,000 on the such and such to win the Super Bowl, and you hear about those. You think, oh, that's great, ha 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 ha. What about the thousands and millions of people who bet $10 on a 2-leg parlay, 3-leg parlay, 5-leg parlay, because it'll get them what, $60, $80, $100, $120, okay, and you lose one leg, and now you're out $10. What if that happens to 1 million people? That's $10 million. The amount of money that's in sports gambling is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I think that is another reason why the owners were so nonchalant about canceling the first month of the season. I think that's one of the reasons. Okay, like the example I gave with the high school kids. Okay, when LeBron was coming out, remember they didn't have slots back in the day. They didn't have slots, so it's increases. So if you're the number 1 overall pick in the NBA or even the NFL, okay, you get this amount, and what is it? It's based off of last year's. Then they increase it with the amount of based on inflation. All right, so it's what this guy got plus maybe an extra 3%. Okay, so there's no arguing on how much you're getting, and now even in the NFL, there's no arguing. There's no argument as to how you can break it up into how many years. You can't say, okay, we'll sign you for a 10-year contract. If you're a first-round pick, it's 4 with an option. Period. 4 with an option. So how do you want to divide all that up? That you can work on. What do you want most of it? Signing bonus? Do you want this? Do you want that? Okay, fine. But you know how much you're getting. But back in the day, when people got shoe deals, that's when they first started giving kids shoe deals. And if you remember, Charles Barkley came out and said, he was annoyed. He's like, they're giving everybody shoe deals. He goes, when I came out, he goes, you had to earn by your play a shoe deal. You got to earn a deal. He goes, and now they're just giving them out to everybody. And part of it, it's, if you've ever delved into and read about the shoe companies, dude, there's so much money in that. That's sending kids to get, steering or corralling kids to, Nike AAU teams, Reebok AAU teams, Under Armour AAU teams. Okay. And then steering them to Nike colleges, Adidas colleges. You had to keep it. Why do they do that? Because it's an investment. Because now when he gets to the league, okay, that's all he's worn is Nike. Nike said, hey, we took care of you. We took care of you with your AAU team. Okay. We swagged you out, gave you all types. You had 7 outfits. You're traveling all over the country. We just asked that you go to Kentucky or Duke or Florida or Kansas, because these are all Nike schools. And then when you get to the league, guess what? Hey, we took care of you. Here's your contract. Now we can give you money. Now we can give you money for it. It's business. It's literally marketing toward your target market since when the AAU start, like 10, 12. So you're grooming them, and trust me, they're gonna be guys who don't make it. Fine, it's a write-off. It's expense, but then there's gonna be guys who do make it and get to the league. And then what happens when people start buying his shoe and that shoe? You start recouping all that money. That's how it seems like with the owners. They got the television money. They have the sports gambling money. You know, and truth be told, that's how a lot of people are. I mean, think about it. If you got an influx of money here and you went to a job that you didn't like, but now all of a sudden you're getting, $8,000 a month, you're like, I don't really need to go back to that job. I don't need to worry about that. Owners here are the issue with me. They're the issue with everybody. And how just the rich get richer and they're trying to screw over the players, because the issue, part of it is the players, the employees are the product. They are the product. It's not like an average employee where you go to work. So when people come up with me with that argument and they say, oh, well, if you went to your regular job and told them this, but it's not a regular job. It's not. You, Chad, in accounting, no one gives a shit about you. They're not paying that company for you to do accounting, to see you do accounting. They're not. They're paying the Boston Red Sox and the White Sox and the Cubs and the Dodgers they're paying them to see Chris Bryant. They're paying them to see Jose Abreu. They're paying to see the players on the field. They are the entertainers. The entertainers want their money, and the people who sign the checks don't want to pay them as much. I'm looking forward to when this is all said and done, so we can say, give a big FU to the owners, and then go to opening day, whenever the hell that's going to be. Whenever the hell it's going to be, I'm going to attend opening day in a protest, and I'm going to drink beer. You know what? Here's how I'm going to protest opening day, Ivan. I'm going to drink so much beer in the parking lot pregame, I'm not going to have to buy beer in the stadium. That'll teach them.
That's right.
That'll show them.
That's right, damn it.
You're not getting my $11. We're tailgating for 3 hours. They open the parking lot for opening days like 3.5. They'll give us for 3.5 hours. I'm tailgating and I'm getting bugged up. I'm getting toe up from the flow up. So I don't have to buy a drink in there and take that. Meet me outside. Catch me outside. How about that? I mean, I'm gonna.
We're gonna end up finding you outside.
Hey, they're gonna have a taquis outside, so I'm not even gonna buy food. I'm gonna buy nothing. Nothing. You know what? I might even sneak a water bottle in just to piss you off. Just because that's not gonna go off in the sensor. Yes. Stick a water bottle or two in there, and I got water for the game. That'll teach them. That'll teach them, damn it. But I'll be there. But I will damn sure be there. And listen, we got to take one more break. It's the final break of the show, final break of the week. He is coming early, Vernon. You know it, baby. ¿Qué cosa? ¿Qué cosa fai? ¿Qué cosa? Hey, on the other side of the break, we have more sports conversation. Ivan and I are going to talk a little Bears. You see me decked out. I'm excited. I'm excited about the combine. I'm excited about the draft that's coming up. I'm excited to see what Ryan Poles does, what moves he makes. How aggressive is he? What does he do? Just how smart he is. Does he get more picks? Does he trade Khalil Mack? Does he keep Khalil Mack? Does he trade him and still have to pay? There's a whole bunch of different things. Oh, no, I won't, dude. Southside, I won't.
Southside remembers.
He remembers that story. He remembers that story. Yeah. Yeah, I won't get that wasted. I won't get white girl wasted. No way. It's a song, right? People who it's a song. All right. Hey, Armando, you can't call me that. That was a sundown town. I can't do that. We can't do that anymore. That was a sundown town. I wasn't even allowed in that. Dude, that's why I had to run. All right. Oh, when I listen to this. So Burbank, Oakland, those were all sundown towns. Okay. And that explained. Now I understood why when I went to St. Lawrence games, I used to get chased home from St. Lawrence, or I couldn't go to a Queen of Peace. No, it was a Queen of Peace. Was that the school right across from Lawrence? Yeah, Queen of Peace. I couldn't go to a Queen of Peace mixer dance because I would get. There was about 4 times I got chased home. I'm telling you, I ran down State Road to Cicero.
I've been around St. Lawrence. St. Lawrence, you got a long way to run. You got to run.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
St. Lawrence is on land. It's not on it's in Chicago. It's Southside Chicago, but it's like long strips of running.
It's tucked in. It's down an industrial road, State Road, it's by Ford City. And there's a couple houses down State Road, but behind it was industrial. And that's where, so I'd have to run down. It was like 77th Street to State Road, and then State Road to Cicero. Dude. So no more Oak Lawn Shawn, because I got chased too many times in Burbank, and that was not fun. Getting called names. The convenience store family, yeah, that was another one. That's another story for another day. That was asshole Shawn. That's what that was. That was idiot asshole Shawn. I deserved to get chased. And luckily I was so fast, but I deserved to get my ass beat for that too. Trust me. I really did. But I digress. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk a little more Bears. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Si no te tengo, mi desastre personal. ¿Qué voy a hacer cuando no tenga tu boca junto a la mía? ¿Qué voy a hacer cuando despierte y vea mi cama vacía? A encontrar la medicina que me sana este dolor. Soy un muerto que camina, que no vive sin tu amor.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago. It's unknown when baseball and the Players Union will meet again to try and hammer out a deal to get the season started. Deputy Commissioner Dan Hallam and Chief Union Negotiator Bruce Meyer met for an hour and a half Thursday discussing the major issues in the stalled talks to reach a deal. Union General Counsel Ian Penny and Major League Baseball Executive Vice President Morgan Sword also participated in the session. The sides had made progress earlier this week, but were still far apart on areas that include the key economic components of the luxury tax, pre-arbitration bonus pool, and minimum salaries. The NFL suspended all aspects of its COVID-19 protocol, citing recent trends showing the spread of the coronavirus is declining. The league is still encouraging everyone to continue monitoring for symptoms of COVID-19 on a daily basis before entering the team facility. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the SportsZone Chicago.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And you know what, Ivan? I am pissed. I was caught up with a whole bunch of stuff and I completely forgot that this weekend was that concert. Completely forgot.
Oh, Joe DC?
Joe DC.
Dude, look. I'm a young buck, but that shit is hilarious. Joe DC, that everybody thought it was Joe DC. that little nugget forever. That's hilarious.
For my lady, dude, because he wrote it. So he didn't have, and here's the funny part, he didn't even have the actual CD, the actual cassette. He dubbed it. So it was a copy. So that's something like Joe DC, Joe DeCai, what the? Yeah, because you know with artists like they'll come up with a crazy shit. I'm telling you, Joe DC, Joe DeCai,
Oh,
Dude,
Jodeci.
Jodeci. I had no. We're trying to figure it out. My man's it's Jodeci. I'm like, all right, cool. And yeah, dude, that was funny. Dude, you made me want to reach out to my guy Al just to let him know I talked about him on the show today. I mentioned him on the show today.
Do it,
As
bro.
dude,
That one that one had me back here rolling. Joe DC.
Well, listen, whatever it is, tomorrow's gonna be nice too, boy. Bellissimo from across the pond. Good morning, Papa. How are you? How are you? Check it out.
He had somebody that Cole Strange that he was talking about, that they were talking about on the draft mob. That dude is very, very smart. Like, I mean, dude was cool, calm, cool, and collective. I haven't seen any tape on him, but dude is pretty impressive. I'll say that.
Okay. Well, tomorrow's gonna be fun. This weekend here in Chicago, 44 today, but a high of 68. It's gonna be almost 70 degrees tomorrow, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Almost 70 degrees. So you know, Mark's gonna be out in shorts and sandals tomorrow. Guarantee it. Freaking-tee it. Mark's gonna be out and you know what, girls? Tomorrow you may be able to. If you're on a little fitness journey and you want to see you've seen some progress, tomorrow might be a good day to break out a little sundress for a little bit.
Yeah.
50. It's gonna be 54 on Sunday. Not bad, but then it drops to 36, 39, 44. So it looks like we're starting to come out of it. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be real fun.
I'm hoping.
I know we're talking about linemen, we're talking about receivers, we're talking about playmakers, we're talking about three techniques, we're talking about corners, we're talking about. I want to see him on the grass. Yes, 2 days later, chance of snow. You're damn right. That, my friend, is Chicago.
Hey, welcome.
You know it, Southside Bear. You know it. I really want to hear these guys talk more. I want to hear them talk, all right, because these guys are like football guys, and I love it. Okay? And not just the fact that they're football guys, because Matt Nagy is a football guy, but Matt Nagy was a bullshitter. Okay? These guys don't seem to be bullshitters. Okay? They're calculated in their words. Like, they're not going to say, oh, this guy sucks or this guy. No. They're saying, hey, we need this, we need that. You know what, Bellissimo? That's a great point. I have thought that he was ready to go, ready to make a jump. Because remember, guys, the biggest jump that most players make is from year 1 to year 2. All right, because let me tell you, playing overseas, okay, there's a lot of crazy shit. Now, this was back in 93, so it's nowhere near. Like, I couldn't call my mom. It's a long-distance call that I had to pay for. Okay?
What was it like? $2, $3 a minute?
A minute, yeah. Or if I called her collect, she'd be like, "Boy, what's wrong with you? I'll see you in Easter when you come home. Write me a letter, boy. Write my ass a letter. I'll read it."
Bob, we had a baby Easter boy.
And so just, I mean, imagine moving to another, a city. There's a lot of personal, like, real life shit you got to get involved in, that you have to deal with. From college, because you're in a utopia for all intents and purposes. You're the big man on campus. All right, you don't really leave campus. I mean, unless you have an apartment off campus, but everything's centered around your school. You're not very far. When you go to college, it's, like I said, a utopia. Now you get drafted, you're going, most likely, if you're a Southern kid, you ain't left the South. Most likely. You haven't been to Seattle or Houston or LA or Chicago or Boston or New York or Minnesota or Denver. You haven't been to these places many times. Not all the time, but most of the time. And then you got to get a house. Then you got all this money. It's a big adjustment. So that plays into why some guys may not feel totally comfortable and settled, okay, in that first year, because it comes fast. The game's faster, okay? You have to grow up quickly if you haven't grown up already. Even if you are a very mature person, shit still hits you fast. That second year, once you got it, once you don't have to find a place to live, once you know the speed of the game, once you know, okay, I know I can go out this night and this night I can't do this. Like once you get all that settled, now you can truly, truly, truly focus on your craft. And that's why we see a lot of the jumps. The biggest jump is from year 1 to year 2. I'm hoping, Verissimo, I loved what I saw from Thomas Graham Jr. last year. He was aggressive. And here's why that I love it. Whether it's going to be the slot corner, whether it's going to be opposite Jalen Johnson, it doesn't freaking matter. Here's why. That pass rush is going to be fierce. You will not see Khalil Mack in coverage. You will not see Robert Quinn in coverage. You got 4 down linemen. And, of course, meaning Mack and Quinn are going to have their hand in the dirt. This is why I said I would love, on a friendly deal, of course, I would love Akeem Hicks back. I think Bilal Nichols is a phenomenal fit for this 3 technique. And then you bring in someone else, bring in a 3rd rounder, someone who's hungry. Okay, I think Carice Tonga is going to be a phenomenal 1 technique. A phenomenal 1 technique. Think about that. A guy who takes up 2. Boom, I got a guard in the center. Now my other 3 guys are 1-on-1. Unless you want to keep a tight end in, well, then guess what? Now you're taking guys out of the route. He thinks Bilal Nichols is done. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? A new regime, it's new life. And they've even said it. Everybody gets a fresh start. They get a fresh look. And with guys who've really not performed well or have had issues or whatever the situation is, a new regime comes in. They understand at this point they have no loyalty to you. They have no allegiance to you whatsoever. So if Bilal Nichols wants to re-sign with the Bears, okay, he's going to have to convince them first in meeting face-to-face. First in meeting face-to-face that you want to play for them to give you a contract. Okay? Then you're going to have to show it on the field. Because they can give you a contract, but then you got to play. Because you don't get paid in preseason. You don't get paid in all that stuff. You get paid by the game, by the week, unless it's a bonus. So I don't argue with bringing in competition by any stretch. I think this team something's wrong with his lower half. Well, depending on what's wrong with it. All right, you've got a whole off season to, because we're Bears haven't played since week 17 or 18. Okay, so he's got time to rehab. He's got time to work on it. He's got time to get surgery. He's got time to do all that stuff. Unless it's something that's structural, which will really affect his game. If it is, then then we do have to go look. But I think we still need to look anyway. I think this defense is going to be unbelievable. I really do. Now, what do we do on the offensive side? All right. Line. Okay. Line is that where you want to go? Okay. I can see that. There's arguments for both sides. Offensive lineman, playmaker. And go ahead.
I wanted to, because now I'm thinking about it, and the emphasis was playmaker, and I believe him on offense, right? I know Ryan Poles meant offense, but what I'm thinking is like, man, can you find a playmaker on defense? If you can find a playmaker, or that you feel like a guy could be a huge help immediately on defense, well, then you're going to have to look at that as well. Like I think maybe, what I think he actually meant was offense, but what I think it really comes down to is if you could find a playmaker on either side of the ball. Now, where Shawn and I both lie, but it's, I think that needs to be the emphasis. If you don't find somebody that you're fully happy with, or let's say a plethora of receivers go in the first round, because there's a lot of guys that speed kills, and there's a lot of teams that would like speedy wide receivers. There's going to be a lot of turnover at the wide receiver position for a lot of teams. Where does that play a part, right? So like for me, looking at it as if you could find a wide receiver that you feel like you're is going to make an immediate impact to be a playmaker, do it. Find a defensive tackle that could be an immediate impact that you really love. Okay, I could understand that too. I think it's the more I hear Ryan Poles and the more we all listen to Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, the clearer the picture. And like you said, they've constantly beat this drum since they've gotten here. And I like they have to execute their plan, but if they can go ahead and find that guy, that immediate impact, and I mentioned it before, I think they need 2 guys drafted to compete right away and to potentially be starters or just, guys that contribute immediately. I think that it's important for them to get this right. I don't know. Like the more I listen to it, the more I watch these guys, I'm just we all care, and that's why I worry, right? A little bit. I want them to get it right. Whether I want it to be an offensive lineman, but whoever it is, just make sure that they're making an immediate impact on this team and that you can trust that. No Adam Shaheens, no fucking like, and everybody's a risk because they're young, young players, but nothing like that. Nothing out of left field where it's like you went off and you strayed off from what you were telling us that you wanted to do.
No projects is what you're saying. All right, you need to go and you need to draft a guy. You need a Roquan Smith, a guy that you know is going to contribute immediately. Olave Williams. Hey, Bear, listen, well, yeah, you might have missed earlier. I think Olave just ran himself out of it, and not definite because you never know how it falls, but Olave ran a 4.26. Yeah, he's not coming.
I was with you when you were talking about Christian Watson. I was like, yes. I was like, a Christian Watson, yes. The guy is. He's built like exactly what we want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Was he 6'4"? Could
6'4",
run a 4.2. A 4.2 is it? What do you run? A 4.28? I think he ran a 4.28 or a 4.27 his first go round before he ran like a 4.31. I got to look it up again. I actually got it right here.
Yeah, check it out.
But yeah, I'm with you on Christian Watson.
And again, it's what Getsy likes. There are going to be questions about his the level of competition, but you know what? If you can play in their traits, right? There are traits that you see. Okay, like does he go up and get the ball? Yes. Does he run away from competition? Yes. Does he dominate? And this is one of the things that when you're dealing with a 1AA or FCS prospect, do they dominate at their level? The answer to that is yes. He dominated at that level. Okay, well now here's where the interviews are so important. Here's where the background check is so important. And the thing that Paul said, which I think is so important, which is exactly what I'm saying, but he said it in the most he broke it down to like you're 5 years old. Does he love the game? Does he love the game? Because you know what? If you love the game, like I'm telling you, there's a way to see that. Like when we were playing as a kid, like we would in the summer, we play football, and we play all sports during the day. So from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, we played tackle football, or it was just tag, but it ended up being tackle on the side of St. Rita Grammar School. Okay, because the sun, it was on the west side of the school, because on the sun, the shadow was into the middle of the street. So by 12 o'clock, it was gone. And you talk about stuff like that. Then in high school, we're working out, we're playing, we're quarterbacks are meeting with receivers, and we're training together. We would go to a gym after school. I mean, all types of. Do they love the game? Do you see them doing everything? And here's one of the things that I know about him. He can block, because North Dakota State runs the ball most of the time. So you got a 6'5" receiver who's I'm just a fan of. Yeah, and I saw Olave. I loved him. I love what he was doing. Can we get him? I don't know. We'll see. That's the crazy part. Like everyone throws out their mock drafts because really we honestly have no idea. What Brandon would you say? He said Poles commented on wanting guys that want their name etched in the stadium, looking for the bag was used. Yeah, because you know what? If you fall in love with the process, if you chase money, money runs. Money runs. But if you fall in love with the process, money will find you. And that's the crazy part. And that's what guys have to understand. People in general have to understand, because that's not just true in football, it's good in life. But listen, Wow. 3 hours is come and gone. I want to thank our guest, Joseph Phillips. Joseph, he was in the house today. He wasn't headlocking, putting a kid in the headlock. Good shit. Joseph Phillips. I want to thank Ken Davis for coming on as well. I want to thank Tab Bamford for coming on talking. He really schooled us on a lot of stuff on a lot of the intricacies, the business aspect of why the owners are doing what they're doing. And of course I want to thank this guy right here, Ivan Vargas, for running everything and keeping everything running smoothly. Made it a great show. I want to thank Elliot Baez. I want to thank Clarence Council and my co-host in absentia, Maya Akai. So listen, make sure you right after us is Second City Sports with Akina McGee and Sydney Brown. Make sure you stay tuned to them. All right. It's going to be have a fun weekend. It's going to be beautiful tomorrow. It's going to be great today. Nice tomorrow. Enjoy it. Summertime Shy is right around the corner. Springtime Shy is right here. It's going to be here in the next month or so. Enjoy it. Get out there. Enjoy it. Rooftops are going to be open tomorrow. I can guarantee it. Patios are going to be open. Enjoy Chicago or wherever it is that you live. All right. Follow SportsZone Chicago on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are at SportsZone Chicago. And on Twitter, we are at SportsZone Shy. That's CHI. So for Elliot, for Clarence, for Maya, and for my guy, Ivan Vargas.
Guys, make sure to check out the Smoke Fellas tomorrow, 11 to 1. But tonight, I will be back on with another Bears show, talking about the Combine, talking about more of the draft, talking about more Bears. And that was something that we didn't get to, that they're relieving the COVID policy around the league, which is huge. I mean, it's huge for players that, we talked about it in the NBA. They're doing it in the NFL. So it seems like the NFL is pioneering that, just like they pioneered the, actual playing while working around COVID policies. That was all the NFL. The NFL didn't shut down, and it looks like the NFL is taking the first step in getting rid of those policies.
Yeah, that was the last thing on my COVID on the top of the morning topic was the NFL union suspend COVID protocols. We didn't get to that. That's funny. But hey, guys, have a great weekend. All right. I'm excited. We're going to take a 69-hour break. On the other side of the break, we'll see you on Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. So for Elliot, for Clarence, for Maya, my guy Ivan Vargas, I'm your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra. Have a phenomenal weekend. We'll see you. And I got 2 more words for you, folks. We out.